Hey everybody, before the video starts, just wanted to give you the mandatory spoiler warning. This is a spoiler warning for specifically Honkai Star Rail, Amphorius Chapter, and Cookie Run Kingdom. I don't know the extent of which Cookie Run Kingdom is spoiled or if it's all backstory. I don't play the game, I don't know much about it. But our lovely friend Raven of the Trash Gang gives us an overview of Cookie Run Kingdom, and the Crimson Possum and myself discuss at length Amphorius and how we feel about the story. So I just want to give you that warning just in case you're playing either of those games. But yeah, welcome to the first episode of Playing Possum on this channel, and this is the Gachacast. Enjoy!
All right. Um, hey guys, we're gonna try out. Uh, we're doing a new thing here. It's called the Play and Possum Podcast, where I bring in a group of my friends and force them for an indeterminate amount of time to express themselves in a healthy manner about their very unhealthy obsessions. I am the Possum, uh, Crimson, and you can find me at Racios Manulis at twitter.com. I refuse to call that X. And I'm gonna pass it over to my co. I'm gonna pass it over to my co-host, the Trash Can, to begin the round table. To begin the round table of everybody introducing themselves. Samuna, take it away.
Hi. You guys know me as the god of the trash, perhaps, or maybe Muna, or maybe a variety of other things. Uh, you can find me, on the good old Twitch at God of the Trash, and Blue Sky at God of the Trash, and I think the Twitter's the only one that's different at God of the Trash VT. Uh, and yeah, I'm here to do stuff, go places and do stuff, I guess. Question mark? Alrighty. I'm sacrificing Mariana.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Mari, and I am the pretty pink raccoon. You can find me on Twitch, under that name, and that's it because I'm really slow at making things. And now I call Raven.
Oh, hey. People know me as Raven. I go by Deranged E-Girl in some circles, including Twitch.tv. They call me the biggest bird, the trash collector Raven. I stole that. Scavenger bird Raven, my bad. That's it. Now that other guy, you, Aiden, you.
Hi guys. It's me, your boy, Aiden, private_opponent. You can find me on Twitter at the same name, or at youtube.com/private_opponent. I've known Travis for like literally 8 fucking years. My guy, known everyone here for a while. Please download and install Shadowverse. It's a pretty good game. It's your turn, Julian.
Hey, I'm Late Dark Slayer. I play Gacha games sometimes on stream. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch. I stream a lot on Twitch. You can find me on Late Dark Slayer. Type that in the browser, you'll eventually find me.
That's great. We got, as you can see, we have a full house here. Everybody is, we're here to talk about Gacha this time. I decided that because it's something that all of us at some point has dabbled into it at length, I figured that that'd be the best first topic for like this particular group of people. It won't always be about Gacha. I'll try to make it about a wide variety of things. So we'll see where we're gonna go from here. And without further ado, for our first discussion topic, I wanted to ask everybody. So you guys have all played Gacha games of all sorts. and I wanted to know, Julian, for you, what do you think makes a gacha game bad?
The second they tell you open up your wallet, tell you, yo, you love this big, juicy character. Male, female, don't matter.
You can't say it like that.
Big
Whenever they
booty
do that.
stick right there. Just well done.
I mean, that is what they do, though. They're like,
This
hey,
gaming
hi,
can
here's
hold
our
so
gacha
much ass.
system. Here's our gacha system. Spend your money, please.
Please spend your money, please.
That's one of the biggest issues. This is like you're kind of forced to spend money on characters that you like. Well, not like, may like or may not like.
And
Especially when they barely give you any pulls.
You don't
I think we
have
can all
to
agree on
spend.
that one.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
They expect
That's
it,
why I got
though.
a job.
But
We're all
besides that
victims.
thing, I say the real issue with Gacha is how hard it is to actually build a character in the game.
Oh, character progression. Okay.
It feels awful. In any type of Gacha game, it is awful.
It's
That-
not
that-
pretty.
That's for me that's also, I feel like that's also true, because even in the games that I play, like Honkai Star Rail and ZZZ, I feel like despite how much they've streamlined those systems, it's always still just another screen that you have to go through, another chore that you have to do, just to be able to play your character on like even if you're not a perfectionist, just like a semi-competent level, you have to spend so much time and resources for just one character. And if you like 30,000 characters, well, you're SOL, I guess. And you know, because there's always a yin to the yang in these situations. Muna, what do you think makes gacha games good?
Having a variety of well-developed characters and a good storyline and a fun gameplay. You got 3 things from me.
Oh my gosh, look at you, Sarah. You so informative. Look at you.
Listen, I've played video games since I was old enough to hold a controller. It just comes with the territory.
That's fair. That's fair. What about you, Raven? What do you think makes a gacha game good? I mean, I don't know how many you've played besides the ones that I know of. But like,
I made a list because I had to remember all the ones I've played, and I made a list separating ones I've played over 6 months and under 6 months.
okay.
So what I think makes a good gacha is diversity, first off, and I hate to be the one, I'm a liberal, whatever, God. Anyway, seeing the same face, the same body, the same outfit on a character over and over again and reprinting it is boring as fuck, and you're never going to make me want to buy that character if they all look the same. I think another thing is making tasks non-tedious. And whether that implies completing it one time and then having a skip button or whatever. But I think the worst thing about Genshin and Honkai and ZZZ Hoyo games, for me, is sometimes it gets tedious. It gets tedious. I don't care what anyone says. That shit does get tedious. Repetitive,
and that's
boring.
What, like,
That's good.
how many hours is Euphorious? Like,
52 hours.
oh my god.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I can't say shit. I did sit through the whole Arnara quest, and I love that, so.
So
I'm not
did
even.
I.
I'm not talking about like
It's
quests
not
and
that,
stuff.
though.
I'm talking
It's-
about like grinding to get like in Genshin. I literally stopped playing Genshin because I was grinding. I think I got to the point where I was grinding for unironically 24 hours to get one set of relics, and I never got the complete set, and I gave up because I was like, this is driving me insane, and it's not even worth it. It's tedious. stopped playing the
Yeah, that's
game.
fair.
And that was like years ago, 2020, I think.
That's fair.
21.
That's fair. I think Muna would agree with that one. That the relic grinding in
Yeah.
Yo games, but also other Gacha games, it's
Just
always
in
tedious. There's
general.
never a good relic grinding system, as far as I could tell.
I feel like.
Aiden? Oh, well, yeah. Well, Mariana, go ahead.
Well,
Sorry
I
about
was gonna say the way, like, there are like a few critiques I would do for like New Carnival, but it was fairly easy to like get relics for people. The only downside is
They don't have relics.
like, not relics, but the
resources?
the mining, the resources.
that.
And I think it's easy because like it's such like you can just put it on autoplay and then you keep going and going. But the relics in Honkai Genshin are hard. I hate those.
And
That's why I
fair.
get there to do it for me.
No, you're on your own.
When you hate the grind, feel free to just pass it off to your friend. I like that. I like that mindset, Mariana.
No.
I like that.
No, this is a bad precedent. I'm not setting this precedence for anyone.
No.
I did
Help
it.
me.
I did it because I looked at your stuff and I said, "Damn, girl, you are fucking making this so hard for yourself by not having the right shit for your characters. I have to fix this." You didn't even ask. I did it because it annoyed me. I looked at it and I said, "No wonder why she's having a hard time."
Damn, girl, you live like this.
Yeah.
All right, and Aiden, since you're the only person we haven't heard from on this, what's your opinion? Like, what makes a gacha good? What makes it bad? Like,
Oh, ease
Throw it
of
out
play. That's kind of why I
Ease-
really stopped with Genshin and ZZZ. Is that they're not that easy to play, but something like Uma. I get home from work, working my ass off for 8.5 hours. And I just lay down on my couch, pull out my phone, do a quick Uma career. It's fun. It's not that involved. I'm gonna be honest. There is no gacha game with deep mechanics, truly deep mechanics. And it's just something easy, something fun. Something I don't have to, super
Think
max
out.
effort into.
and I think with the most recent update to Honkai Star Rail, at the very least, 3.7, they really put in a lot of systems to like really just like hand wave away all of that all of those chores, because like now you can just like multi-grind things. You get tickets that let you full skip sections of the grind and all that type of stuff, and like that was what I was thinking of when I would oftentimes find myself disliking the grind in games like Genshin and Wuthering Waves. Is that like I'd sit there and I'd be like, making me do this grind the first time because I hadn't done it before makes perfect sense. But every time after, if I've fully completed the stage myself, if I've proven that I can complete the domain for relics or for grinding for my character materials, I feel like the games should allow me to just skip the monotonous of it all, just so we can get past it, so I can get to the more enjoyable aspects of the game much sooner. Because because nobody really wants to, like Aiden's saying, go to work for 8-9 hours, come home, be exhausted, and then go okay, and then crack their knuckles and sit down at the computer and then run Genshin dungeons for like 9 hours just to look at your grind at the end and be like, damn, I didn't get nothing. I just wasted 9 hours of my life for nothing.
I ain't got
I didn't
shit.
get anything. And that's fair. That's fair.
Are you winning, son? No, father. I'm in fact
Not at all.
losing.
I think another thing about gacha that's a symptom of the medium is that too often we have people who treat the games it's a battle royale where it's like my game is better than your game because my game did this and your game did that, and it's like these gotcha wars that just go on nonstop, and I'm just like, look, man, we're both playing some of the most predatory things of all time. Can we just sit there and just allow you to play your game and me to play my game and us not argue about this? Like, come on.
No,
I like
my game is better than your game.
My game is
It's
more
like the
cooler.
console wars, but it's on crack.
yeah. It's like this is the new console wars. We traded away. My PlayStation is better than your Xbox. Well, my Xbox is better than Nintendo too. Yeah, Star Rail is so much better than Wuthering Waves. It's like, is it though?
Yeah. We just found something new to
is
argue
it though?
about.
It's like so sad.
People should just like
It's
I
the
don't
same
know,
argument
like,
with like,
make
this is the
out
new Genshin
with-
killer. Okay, bro. How many
Oh,
times
yeah.
have you heard this is the new Genshin killer and Genshin has not been killed yet?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is
There's a
Tower of Fantasy still going?
yeah Tower. But actually, I'm glad you brought up Tower
Oh my
Fantasy
god.
because in the latest thing that Tower Fantasy is doing, they said, guys, we're an MMO, and then they removed the gotcha from the game.
That's crazy.
They remove all that.
They
They
still
removed.
it
they
still
removed-
won't make up for the shit writing unless it got
Bless.
better.
Oh, bless your face. Yeah, it will make up for the bad writing of the story, but they so like they weren't really getting money, and I mean like, TOF was one of those supposed Genshin killers, and they were like, yeah, man, we're just not making money. The developer who was behind it before, not the publisher who was behind it before, bowed out, and so then they had to go in house to continue making the game. Which is a bad sign. That's usually like one step away from EOS. And now they've removed the gotcha from the game, and all characters are obtainable for free by just grinding and playing events. So it's no longer a gotcha. It's still an MMO, but it's no longer a gotcha game. So
There's so many terms I'm still
Get ready for
confused
that
about.
EOS announcement.
Wait, what?
still
It's
still
gonna go
waiting
up
on
like
that.
Black Beacon. I never heard
Black
of that game
Beacon.
until it. I never heard of it until the EOS.
Listen, this is my solution. Every time you have people fight over different games or like which character is better, they should just like I don't know switch each other, and then like I feel like
Okay. The Yaoi route.
the world will be better off.
Mariana lives in her own little world.
Leave me
It's
alone.
better not to question it, just let her talk.
So,
Whatever.
Yeah, we are way out of things. Right.
I mean,
I've heard a
honestly,
few mon will like that. Right.
yeah, where the main characters look at each other and go, I hate everything about you, and there's nothing about you that I find desirable. And then
Ah.
2 acts later, they're like in bed.
Everything about you.
But I don't know. I think to wind this one down. It's like overall, I feel like when you're playing gotcha games and you're sitting there and you're saying, I really like this character. Like for example, Honkai Star Rail just released Sarini, which was like the big star for Emphorius to cap off the end of that story. They released her. She was an SP of Elysia from Honkai Impact 3rd, who was a very beloved character, and riding the coattails of that popularity for that character that had already existed from the Honkai Impact player base, who was currently playing Star Rail because they like Honkai. They brought in a lot of attention and a lot of eyes onto the game. I'm pretty sure she's going to break sales records because it's Elysia. That girl doesn't know how to not make money. And
least
I
she,
was
like-
sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I was like,
it's the pink.
it is the pink. It is the pink. And I was sitting there and I was appreciating the character after I'd gotten her, and I just thought to myself, this is a phenomenal character. I really like the story behind her, how they built her up in Honkai Star Rail, not taking anything that comes with Elysia, even though that's there because I've played Honkai Impact. I was like, this is amazing. I really appreciate this. And Forius, for me, mostly did a good job. And it's gonna suck when this time next year she's gonna be one of the worst characters in the game, because power creep is rampant in gacha games, and well, it's rampant in gaming in general, but for
Wait, what's
gacha
power
games, yeah. So power creep is a type of idea where you release a character who is like power level 5, and then
Yeah.
you release the next character who is power level 6.
Oh,
And then you release the next character after them, who's power level 7. And you continue like this because rather than making interesting characters with well-developed backstories that you like, what gacha companies especially like to do is they'll take a character and they'll go, this character is very, very cool. Everybody liked Acheron. And here we are, 1 year from Acheron's release, because she released last year. And Acheron is not even in discussion of like a top tier character anymore, because everything that came after Acheron blew how much value she had out of the water. And so
Cyrene might be
and so
safe as long as you can keep playing the errors. Because
Yeah.
you know, she's a support. It's the same reason why people still play how the hell did I forget her name? Ruanmei. People
Ruanmei,
still
yeah.
play Tianyu, Robin. Because if she is a support, as long as casters teams and Axa teams, as long as they keep going, people still play casters. Not casters, excuse me, Cyrene. If they fall off, if we get an enemy that just says, fuck you, casters, your meter doesn't work anymore. Okay, then we're gonna lose Cyrene. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I think she's safe-ish. And then if, like, let's say we get Caster's Altar, she'll work with that. She'll probably give the exact same buff. And, you know, now suddenly Cyrene's good again. You know? It's gonna be great.
as someone who plays the current in game, do you think that Jin Yuan is as good as Fine?
No.
It's better even.
Wait, you said
no. That is
I love him, and they've done everything to make him bad.
And that's
It's
with them
okay.
releasing characters like Sunday to make it better, by the way.
I know, because for a
They
while I didn't have to worry about anything, and then they were like, what about this? And I was like, fuck you. I can't believe you've done this to my boy.
Is it
Like-
because it feels bad playing him at the moment?
It's more like it feels like, at least for end game content, like story content you can clear with just about any team, I'm convinced, with very few exceptions, aka no support to your main cast, you know, like a sustain. Anyway, I'll argue about that later. But when it comes to stuff like the MOC, Memories of Chaos, or Pure Fiction, or what's the third one? Apocalyptic Shadow, and even worse, the newest one that they put in there, the one they have to defeat all the knights to get the king in check. Whatever, sorry, I burped.
Oh,
Yeah.
arbitration.
Yes. Playing a character like Jing Yuan is impossible, because it's all about not just speed, but like damage output. And with damage output, you could probably like fine tune it even more. But it almost feels like they've intentionally handicapped the shit out of it, like, or kneecapped the shit out of him by making all these
Really?
characters way stronger than he is. So he can't clear as fast and get a high enough score. So you're like required to pull new units in order to complete it completely.
No, they ain't gonna catch me. I'm with the same team since the start. You ain't gotta change me.
That's a lie because I built up your new characters. You're
Okay,
welcome.
yeah, but then you told me to use it, so I'm gonna follow what you say. Okay? It's like if you told me to jump off a roof, I would.
No, you don't do that.
Okay. Okay.
This is literally why you have to sit there and like put a child leash on her. She can't be trusted to do anything by herself.
I do lots of things by myself, guys, okay? Leave me alone. I do it so much, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to hold on.
Not important. Anyway.
And so you know, back to the central point. So yeah, so power. So like, I look at Cyrene and like, yeah, you know, she's a good support, but I think what separates a character like her from a character like Robin or Ruame is that she's not as universal. Like, she buffs the Chrysosairs really, really good, and I'm not gonna be like one of those idiots who says, "Oh, she cooked because she only buffs the Chrysosairs to high heavens," and like everybody else just gets that. There's 13 characters that she buffs, if you include herself. That and like, and I mentioned this before in passing to people like Muna and Julian, is that unless you have just started in patch 3.7, or you are a complete and utter idiot, you have pulled at least one other Chrysosaur. It is physically impossible to have played through from the beginning of Amphorius to now, played every patch, and for you to not have a single Chrysosaur. Because if you don't have any of them, then there's no.
Well, yeah, you get one
Because
for free.
yeah, you do get down hung PT.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
not with the Trailblaze.
You do get the Trailblaze, but you still got to beat the 3.7 quest in order to unlock the DPS version.
No, oh, okay.
Yeah, because you get a specific buff for Remembrance Trailblazer that only unlocks once you beat the story.
Damn.
So
Well, at least main game content isn't really that hard. I think, like,
yeah.
if I'm not really feeling it, I'd still use the Firefly team, because QOL, it's a really easy team to use.
Yeah.
Even if it can't really clear endgame because it doesn't really have the damage output, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I still when I play the story, unless when I'm playing the story, unless I feel a certain way about it, I usually just use Acheron. I mean, just because. You know. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
I use Travis as Acheron all the time too.
on a casual level, Acheron does what I need her to do, so I'm cool with that. Because you know, I'm gonna say, like, when you're playing the main story, unless you have 4 supports or 4 sustains trying to do like the final bosses of story battles, you can probably still clear the story. Like, if you're just a strictly casual player, you don't care about end game. I do my dailies. I do Diverging Universe. I do Currency Wars. I do story. I log out. If that's all you do, power creep doesn't really matter. But if you play any of the in-game modes, especially arbitration, you need you need the newer character. And I feel like it's not just Honkai Star Rail that does this. Like, I feel like there are other games that Raven, does Cookie Run Kingdom have this issue, or is everything?
Are we talking about power scaling?
Yeah, power creep. And
Ooh, a
everything,
great transition into me. Segue. So Cookie Run has some of the most egregious power scaling I have ever seen out of a gacha game, mobile game.
Oh god.
It is
Oh my
it is
God.
power scaling that goes patch by patch. So
Oh
let's
my
see.
God, it's crazy.
So for example, this year we have our 5th legendary tier cookie to come out, Fire Spirit Cookie. 5th or 6th, I cannot remember. Wait. Sea Fairy, Black Pearl, Frost Queen. Yeah, 5th. No, 6th. Anywho, no, is it 7th? I don't even know. Anyway, Fire Spirit Cookie came out. He's a magic type fire element legendary cookie. And he at that point was the strongest DPS. His ult puts down tiny little, they're not tiny, small little fire spitting creatures that have their own life. It's like a summon, and they'll just spit fire at you even after he died, and it's a really good ult. Super powerful, super strong.
Ooh.
2 patches later, he is no longer meta. He is now the 2nd best DPS. It depends on what you want out of a team, but if we're talking about competitive, I think he's 2nd best to Eternal Sugar Cookie, who is a beast cookie. She just has a very, like, just super strong, literally, she's a bomber type cookie, and so her ult is very explosive, huge, and just causes a bunch of DPS damage all around. And is she even good anymore? I mean, she's still pretty decent. But like I said, it's patch by patch. We have all of our we have all of our ancient cookies, and we have all of our beast cookies. I'll explain what I'm saying later when we go into the lore of Cookie Run, because you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. And we're still missing like 3 legendary cookies. But it's only gonna get worse because she's not. Eternal Sugar Cookie isn't the best anymore because
Oh my God.
what White Lily Cookie got her ascended form, so now she's better. Right. She's also bonkers. It depends, but I think she's better right now at least. If you put her with the right support.
In the span of all of that, a cookie was the best, and then you immediately got power crept at the end of that conversation. That's great.
And by the way, this all happened within like 6 months. So this one, patch by patch, it is very rapid. Your favorite cookie could be dog shit the next patch. It does not matter. There was one patch where God, I can't remember. It was a healing cookie, and he was really good for that one patch. And then but then again, it is PvP. You have to keep up with the times. You have to make sure the cookies you have are updated, fresh, and kept. Sometimes it doesn't matter what the tier is. It matters what the support is and what your ult does. Sometimes it's just basic team building. Sometimes it's team composition. So, excuse me. The basic team comp used to be like tank, charge, 2 DPS types. So you could do, there's range, there's assassin, there's bomb, there's magic, whatever. You could put 2 of those, and then you could put like 2 healers now, or 1 healer. Now it's 1 tank, 2 DPS types, whatever you choose, 1 support, 1 healer. You just have to keep up with the times, or you just won't advance to at least master in Cookie Run. Getting master in Cookie Run is like, we're talking about competitive rank, is basically like, I want to say bare minimum once you hit level 50 in the game. Cookie Run is also really fast. Like it's just a really fast-paced game because you have to keep up. Because once again, patch by patch. So by level 50, you should be hitting like Masters rank every season, and you should have at least like 5 cookies that are 1 million plus, or you just have to grind to get your way there. But by the way, I'm pretty much free to play. I think I've bought like 2 passes, maybe. I've never bought like one of the packs because I just look at him like I could just grind to get that, and then I do, and I hit masters, usually 3 or 2. Sometimes I do bad and get masters 4, but we don't talk about that.
Cookie Run Kingdom is explosive. I mean, it is a PvP gacha.
I didn't realize it's that explosive.
Yeah, and also I'm not even on the main competitive server because I knew I would never make it on the other one. Like I'm not on Holly Berry server. The Koreans are really serious on that server. And I was just like, I'm not gonna cut it. I'm never gonna cut it over there. So I went to the non-competitive one. I'm so serious too. Like
It's scary.
So I'm barely making it masters on the non-competitive. Could you imagine what's going on that comp one? I couldn't do it.
So what, you like compete with each other, or?
It's basically PvP. You're like throwing your teams at each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which
does make that game different than like a
Yes.
game like Honkai Star Rail. So, because Honkai Star Rail is a single player game, but Cookie Run Kingdom is a multiplayer. But that's still ridiculous, though. Jillian, on that note, how is the power creep in Wuthering Waves?
For Withering Waves, it's actually pretty decent. And most of the characters that I have all of them. They won't believe me on my luck. They're just like, no, I filled 90 50 50s and paid off. They won't believe me that I actually won like 8 50 50s in a row consistently. But
Damn.
no one believes me. But yeah.
It's okay, I believe you, Julia.
For Withering Waves, it's alright. I'm still clearing with my 1.0 characters. Because what I learned from playing from PGR, because like Woo and PGR, they're literally the same game, but one game is more simplified than the other. So what I learned from Kuro is for their characters last longer than like an HSR character, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So what I mean by that, like, there's a character named Crimson Weave, which is Lucia in PGR. That character came out, I think, around 2022 or 2021, depending on what Global had and the Chinese version had. That character lasted until now. She died in 2025 because the new lip came out, which is a lightning DPS. And let me tell you, the Twitter crowd was not happy about it.
Did they say that power creep is rampant because a character lasted only 4 years?
Yeah.
Only lasted 4 years in the meta before they got power crept. And then you look over there at Cookie Run Kingdom and people are just like, I can't survive another day. Lava cookies not the same.
You shouldn't talk their name anymore.
But I think Wua's doing like they're doing quite fine with their characters. They're not like, oh, they're like this one character is super behind. It's really not that. In the third, some might have like a little bit less damage than main DPS like fucking Jinshi, which her outburst damage is still the strongest in the game. Sure, her main team isn't as like strong as the newer teams because that's how Gacha games are. Their teams are always gonna be a little bit better than your older teams. But if you're looking at like the output damage as like the single unit alone, Jinshi still blows every other character out of the park. And she's a 1.2 character, I think. And she's still demolishing. she still has like newer teams. She has Cantarella, who just gives her coordinated damage. So you just pair her off
Killing
with
everyone.
Jeji and Cantarella. She just does stupid damage.
Damn.
I say the only mode that's like slightly getting harder, but that's just because the HP inflation is just the MLC of the game. It is getting slightly more harder because they added more floors to it and they increased the HP because it's a gacha game. All games do this,
Yeah.
but you're still able to clear as long as you're just optimizing your build, which I don't because I don't like doing that. I'm the one and done type of guy.
No upgrading for this guy.
But I've been
And
clearing.
and do you think that there ever come a point within the year where Jinshi is no longer the best character?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, do you think there will come a point sometime this year where Jinshi is no longer the best?
Probably. One of these days they're gonna release another Outburst character. Because right now the only Outburst character is Jinshi.
Okay,
This is insane.
okay. And I guess for the final game, then we'll talk about the power creep thing, and just to see what happens when you put it right in the middle. Aiden, what do you think about the power creep in FGO?
Oh, there isn't any. I
And
mean,
there you go.
newer characters. So, the hard mode of that game is significantly less important than like something like Star Rail,
Uh-huh.
because there isn't really any rewards. You get like level up material and that's it, and you get to say, "Hey, look at what I did," and share the screenshot with your friends, and they can say, "Wow,
He
let's
won.
do it again without X character," because all the strong characters, it's
Uh-huh.
either support or DPS, and your DPS can be literally anything. I use characters that I've had for 4+ years. This game is pretty old. You can use characters from the start and be able to do all that farming that you need to do, to be able to clear bosses that you need to clear. There are like mechanics that like hard you, like I forgot the word. There's a word for it, like wall you. The word of the day is wall you. There aren't really any mechanics
Wall
like
you?
that. Yeah, like the Pollux boss. How you really need like HP stuff.
Oh
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not really
That's what you mean.
anything sort of like that. And if you wanted to use a Berserker 3-star from the beginning of the game, who has had literally no buffs at all, you could carry him until you fight a boss that counters him, because it's got the affinity mechanic instead of like anything. So it doesn't really have power creep. And even when like they release a stronger support, they still sometimes run the old support with them anyway, because it's not like having this new support makes the old support bad. They can always intermingle. You get 6 characters in this. You don't have a tiny team.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more flexible. There's a lot less power creep. Now there are really, really strong units, but I wouldn't really call it power creep when you can still easily clear the content with the characters from the beginning. These ones can just
Yeah.
clear it more easily.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, if a game just lets you beat all the content with like
Yeah.
your favorite teams, I mean, like, is there really any power creep?
One of my friends, his favorite character is Gilda Ray Saber. Literally a release character who is really bad, got like 2 whole buffs, and he is literally at the last bit of content. He didn't only he didn't only use them, but as often as he could, he used that character, and he's at endgame. So
And really, that's all that matters. If you can still clear the end game, it doesn't matter how you.
it's like Pokemon. It only matters that you love your servants, not that they're good.
Meanwhile, in Honkai Star
Yeah.
Rail, I'm sorry, Acheron. I'm sorry, Zila. I must use Casterus now. I have no choice.
Oh.
I mean, I think you do, but you know, says the boot hill main over here.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
I still
did
use
you- did-
Kyle for everything, so I can say shit.
Did you beat arbitration with your E3 boot hill?
No, but I sure as hell can finish all the story content. I don't really need the team that I have to do that.
Now, yeah, when you have God himself dropping meteors on people twice,
Yeah.
who needs to do anything else? Oh, for the love of God, bro! It's so.
He's so
I'll
it's so stupid.
I'll
It's like
never
I don't
get
play
over
the
the
game
character.
anymore.
I'll never get over that character. Might as well just turn the game on auto.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Only they won't wait
So-
for Cyrene ult if I do that, so.
So long story short, power creep in gacha games. It's kind of there's variables there. In PvP gachas, it's rampant. In Star Rail, for some reason, it's really rampant. In games like WoWa, it's kind of like whatever. And then in FJ, I mean, forget about it.
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 And using that closing as a springboard into the next topic, let's talk about fan service in gacha games and why ZZZ Wua why ZZZ Wua, Nikkei, New Carnival, why these games are great for the space and we need more. No, I'm saying,
If you say so.
no. Why do you? I guess my question to you guys is, before I give my own opinion, why do you guys think, and we'll go down the list starting with you. Why do you guys think that is fan service in these games bad? Do you not care, or are you okay with it? Basically.
It depends, but Julian goes first.
I was about to say,
My
let the
time to
man
shine,
speak.
guys.
Shh, mute your mic.
Yeah.
No.
Jillian? No.
I don't think it's not even bad. It's really not bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. It's what make it like look bad. It's not the devs. It's literally their PR. The people who do the PR really focuses on those types of shit. But then you look at the characters themselves, like in game, and how they act. Like, okay, like what they're showing for this, and what I'm seeing in this game, there's two different things. It really is.
Like, I think for Wua specifically, we had the incident with Cantarella, because they had that saucy trailer,
Yeah.
and then they had like that period where the game's age rating went up, and then they quote unquote censored her,
What?
and the age rating went back down. So
Don't
like,
censor my girl. Let her be a hoe. Jesus Christ, guys.
Well, that was because people were mass reporting
Complaining?
Lua, as they always do.
The fuck?
I'm not
I'm
gonna
like-
name certain fan bases, but yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
No, name them.
nah, it wasn't him. It was somebody else. But yeah. So overall, so Julian, you don't mind it down to like how it received, the perception of it, and the PR for you. Okay. Mariana, what about you?
So generally, I don't honestly care about fan service per se, unless it deals with, if we're talking about, like, what was it? It makes you go into a more fetishy way. because as a very sex positive person, I'm just like, you guys do your own thing, have fun and stuff like that. It's only until it gets weird that I'm just like, hmm. And I from all the games I've met, especially like if we're talking about like New Carnival or Wuwa, all the characters from the start, they look like adults, they act like adults. So I'm like, okay, so if she wants to show off her tits, let her. Okay, that's queen shit. If he wants to have, you know, booty shorts, you know, let him do it. That's king shit. It's only until there's certain parts, like I'm trying to think of like the situation. I'm just like, it feels weird. Um, I wouldn't say the only one I could think of is it was a game I played, and I was like, okay, this feels. I'm gonna leave now. Oh, it was an ultimate game. I forgot the name of it, but it kind of got a little fetishy with that it be kind of more involved with like school uniforms and stuff like that, and I was like, even as like I think I was like probably like what 14, I was still like a little weird. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't a gacha game, but I'm thinking of that one game. So yeah, but in gacha games, from my experience, things have been pretty calm. The only one I can say that's extreme on both ends is New Carnival, and like I wouldn't even say Wuwa is extreme. It was just that one scene of her, uh, what was it? Her eating a cherry,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
and I was like, she's a sexuous a woman, you know? I'm just like, you know, for me, I'm like, ugh, a scene moist. I'm just like, I'm not, but so I'm just like, as long as they're adults, and you know, as long as like it's, you know, rated like correctly. That's why I'm like, you can't like, and that's why I grew with Julian with PR, where it's like, since they brought down the rating and they just censored, I'm like, that's just not gonna work out, you know? Like, just stick. You want. Okay, set sells. You want to sell your games. Okay, understandable. Then you gotta understand that you can't sell it to certain demographics because they're minors and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just like and like talking about fan service. Sarah's got Olivine from the new event, and I'm totally not jealous right now. I'm
I
not
didn't even want
seized
him.
with rage. You give him to me.
I wanted
Oh, there you
Yakumo.
That's so silly. But you know, it's interesting that you bring up a game like New Carnival. But I'll save that for my opinion on that when it gets back to me. Okay, Aiden. What about you, man?
You know, I can't even say anything. I have definitely rolled for characters because of their appearance. Fan service is just the natural byproduct of this. Yeah, because, you know, sometimes I see Kit and I see, wow, that is definitely a Kit. Other times I see, hee, big boobies, giant pecs, you dig? And then I stop thinking, and the next thing I know, I've already put in money to roll for them.
You activated the monkey.
It just kind of happens. Yep.
Neuron activated.
If a character was the strongest in the game, but they didn't look like it, and they were kind of ugly, and they didn't have anything to offer, like they were wearing a hoodie and jeans, and that's it, nobody would really care. You know, fan service is just a part of design, you know? It goes everywhere. Fan service, it's not just big boobies, it's not just massive pecs, sorry.
Oh my god, that scene. Yeah, you're totally right because I'm thinking about that
Yeah.
one scene with uh, Mi Miyamoto. Am I
Right.
pronouncing it right?
No, it's
the
Yeah.
guy from
Monato.
ZZZ.
Mana,
The guy from
Manato.
ZZZ, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Koma no
I saw the.
Monato.
Yeah, the first few scenes I was like, cool, hot. But then when you introduce his younger siblings and you saw how gentle and sweet and funny he was, I like text Sarah. I think it was like probably like at 2 a.m. in the morning on Instagram, and I was like, girl, I'm like, bruh, I'm, I'm I'm pregnant. There you go. I'm hyped. The floor
funny.
is wet.
The floor
And then,
is.
and then Sarah's just like, you keep that to yourself next time, thank you. And I was like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, because
Bro.
I have opinions.
No.
My opinion is I didn't
The
ask for
floor
this.
is wet. The
There
floor,
is
okay. Okay.
Fan
That-
service, it's not just fan service isn't just, you know, big movies. It's also
Yeah.
like when Jingyuan pops up at the end of the ghost hunting quest and then fucking one shots the heliobus and he's like, ah, that's fan service.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
cool
he
as
has
fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
his big honkers out.
Yeah.
He does have his big honkers out.
I'm
But
thinking,
he's still
He's
really
fully
cool.
dressed when
with
he
his service to the fans. So
I'm also thinking of like, that, I'm friends with another, like, new carnival. I'm friends with this person I met at a convention, and they're like a big Eden fan. And like the thing is that a lot of like, especially like ultimate games or like any games like with the harem and stuff like that, the main like the protagonist is usually like a self-insert, and that's why I really love New Carnival. And I'm just like, oh my god, he's. And I like remember I was like texting them, and I was like, oh my god, the way he's so sweet with the little ferret, you know, like with and I'm just like, my heart.
Topper?
And I'm like,
His name is Topper.
yeah, Topper.
He has a
I know his
his
name is Topper. I'm just trying to explain it.
people who know the
I-
game will know who Topper is.
Yeah, I know Topper. And I was just like, oh, my little heart. And like I did the little like meme where it was like the grandpa having a heart attack. And I'm just like, that's fan service. You know, you guys create a very likable character. That's that's a fan service too in a way. It's not sexy, but it's it makes you. It's wholesome fan service.
Yeah. I can definitely agree with that.
Or like
And
oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Yeah. I was gonna say that I mean like there is of ways to consider to like look at things and go, oh, this is fan service, that's fan service. But a lot of the times people just assume when you say fan service that you're talking about the etchy stuff. So like it's really so like I'm really
Yeah, that's
really
what I
proud
was
of you
thinking
two
of.
I'm really proud of you two for going. Well, I mean, this is also fan service, you know, because I mean, but because you know, you're right.
We're
I don't
fan
disagree with
service.
you.
yeah, when Dante pulls up in PGR and he cool Dante thing, that's fan service, you know?
Yeah, that is.
Pretty much, 100%.
It's fan service.
Or like I'm thinking that one scene, where was it? It was one of the new. I hadn't played Deep Space yet, but there was this one scene where I think it was like not Raphael, maybe Raphael, where he just grabs and twirls like the main character, and I was like, my heart skipped a beat, and I was like, oh, like wait a minute, or if we're not going through I mean, I don't play a lot of gacha games because I have no time, but if we're going through like different fandoms and fan service, I think that Sarah's the same thing, where I was like, for Alien Stage, I was like, I forget how handsome they draw Ivan, that I'm just like, there was this like one scene from like the art book that I'm like, boy, my heart skipped a beat. Like I was like, I forgot because I always view him as silly, goofy goober, and I was like, oh. So there are like scenes and like different ways that like it doesn't have to be necessarily sexy. It just like makes you feel something. Your kokoro go doki doki.
Okay. Raven.
The question being, how do I feel about fan service in Gacha?
Yeah, like sexualization of characters, fan service, stuff like that. How you feel?
I think fan service and Gacha games go hand in hand. I think if you want to pull money from your audience, usually it's adults that have money in their pockets most of the time, because they're the people who have jobs. And adults, sometimes they like sexy, sometimes they like romantic, sometimes they like cutesy. I am a certified ethical gooner girl. I love fan service as long as it's coming from an adult. If it's not, it's gross. Also, I kind of hate unnecessary fan service. Like
what?
The only really example I can pull from is like Fire Force, the anime. I don't like fan service. Also, there's this character. I cannot remember her name. Starts with a T. You know who I'm talking about. She's a Fire Fox girl. She has like fire ears and a fire tail. She's super cute, but she has this little thing where she like always has such terrible luck, and her terrible luck is her tripping and her pants falling down, which is like, okay, I don't want to see that out of a 15-year-old. Like, I'm just so sorry. If it was a grown sexy woman, I'm down barking.
It's like Senshi from Dundon Meshi, where he's the one that has all the panty shots.
Yeah,
and I'm
a grown ass
the hottest shit ever.
Yeah, like I love that. Out of a 15-year-old girl, sorry, I'm no longer 15. That is no longer ethical out of me. I don't fuck with it at all.
Okay.
I think the other one that was like unnecessary, but it's from me and Sarah's, and I think we spoke about it too, Travis. I can't remember though. But the android girl from ZZZ, and the preview was just so much feet shots.
She's not an android. She's a double amputee.
A double amputee.
Yeah.
And that also,
Yeah.
and that can go. Yeah. What?
Yeah. You're talking about what's her name?
Seed.
Seed. Yeah, you're talking about Seed, and like the fact that she lost both her arms, so the arms she has are like enhancements. They're like prosthetics. So like the logic behind those scenes is that's how that's she. Even though she has those prosthetics, she primarily uses her feet because it feels unnatural to use those arms for her. But I'm sorry. Continue, Mario.
No, I was gonna say like, okay, 1 or 2 shots. Okay, fine. You're there's feet enjoyers. Let them live. I'm not gonna kink shame. But it was like, in every so like in each like new scene or something, it was like a new angle of her feet, and I was like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous, my dude. I'm sniffing out who on the PR team or something like slick feet. I'm looking at you.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah, because there's and I think it's going back to the conversation that there's an excessive amount that it can go into a little uncomfy, that it's like of different fetishes that I'm just like, you don't need to show all that,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can, like, if in like any other places, I mean, if you do want to show like a little bit of a foot fetish or something like that, like her like, what do you call it, the image when you win like when you win the character. It's like her
Splash
character.
art.
No,
It's splash
her,
art.
yeah, her splash art. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so maybe have her sitting on a chair with her feet up in the air, or like on a table. Any like innocent bystander would be like, oh, she's so cool, and I'm like, I know what you're drawing. I know what you're sniffing tonight. So, yeah, that's like the only thing like downside is that when it gets excessive, I'm just like, eh.
Okay. Raven, did you have anything else to add on that?
No, I'm waiting for my cookie run power hour.
Power
Okay.
hour.
We're almost there. All right, Muna, and I'm pretty sure I know what you're gonna say. So Muna, take it away.
Take it away. I have very strong opinions, but
Please, say it all.
but I'm gonna preface it with these are my opinions. All right. First of all. Second of all, if you guys are allowed to have your fucking opinions, I'm allowed to have mine. All right, I'm putting that out there.
Mhm.
I think that although I understand the reasoning and everything behind it, a lot of the time it feels excessive. And that could just be me and my personal opinion and how I feel about those sort of things. Because it's like, I feel like it can be totally fine. And I understand the majority of the player base is a bunch of adults, whatever. But sometimes, like, it depends on the game, obviously. But there are some times when it just feels like too much. And, like, at least in the sexualization department. And I am like, okay, I would like to move on from this. I would like to focus on something else.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Well, that's too damn bad. That's what they say to me every time. And, not, like, the only word I can think of is egregious. But, like, it just feels, in particular for ZZZ, feels a little bit egregious because they do it in a way to make you play the game, and then you find that these characters are completely well developed and well rounded to the point where it's like, so why did you advertise them like that? But then I go, I know why they advertise them like that. It's the way they get people to come in. And it's like, I think like, not to say the problem with it, but it feels like it's so much in your face. And for somebody like me who has a lot less tolerance for that kind of stuff, it just becomes a little bit annoying for that to be the only thing that I get to see. And that's not for everything, but we definitely can see when it happens and where it happens a lot.
Like we know one hand is drawing the character, the other hand is doing something else.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Like, I mean, you know, on that point, I can think of a character that it's like when you look at all of her trailers and her being Jane Doe. When you look at everything, all of the promotional material for Jane Doe, it's like okay, so she's like, you know, she's a femme fatale, you know, she's probably gonna be like this, and then you play through her story quest, and she's like the most wholesome vanilla ass character of all, and I'm just like, wait, then why did you write her as like the super sexual deviant who's like sensually eating an apple in front of like this person that she's got tied to a chair, interrogating them, sitting between their legs, you know, giving off this particular impression for her. But then you actually see her act it out and fully realize she's like, oh, she's 100% not even like this at all. So it's like a complete like, oh, we only did that to like get you into the game because we understand that we have to follow the laws of every country, and so we can't like market this game as being like this, and then have it actually be like that in the game. It's like really bad. Because I don't want to say it's false, but it almost seems like it.
I think it does in the way of like feeling like it's overly sexualized, and then you get in the game and it's not like like that at all. That's partially kind of false advertising, but shrug, I guess. It's just a little exaggeration, just a little sprinkle on top, you know.
Something that I would also like to add is that, especially if we're talking about ZZZ from the trailers I've seen for specific like characters, the fan service between the men and the women characters is so drastically different that it's just like kind of like disingenuous, because if I'm thinking for certain, like for example, like we're going to back to how do you last name? Oh my gosh.
Monato is his first name.
I mean, Monato is his first name, yeah. I'm like,
Komano.
okay,
Monato is his full name.
Komano, right? Komano. You know, the first like minute, like stuff like that is like, okay, this is, woo, look at that. We don't know, ooh, little scandalous over there. And then it cuts to like who his character is, and I'm just like, oh, he's just a sweet boy. He's a big bro. He's awesome. But then like I look at the other trailers for like the women, and I'm just like, this is not. Would you say disingenuous, or like this is kind of like a slap in the face or something? I don't know, how would you describe it?
I think slapping the face.
I mean, no, I would say it's more like false advertising. They give you one crucial impression, and then like you actually like get to the character, and it's like, oh, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's not even for me. Standpoint that, oh, I want the characters to be as aggressively sexual as they are in their trailer. It's just like the tentacle girl that we just got recently. So it's like you watch all of that stuff with that character, and you're like, oh my god, what is this character gonna do? And then you play out her story. She's a klutz. She's like haunted by like her memories and stuff like that. You know, she's got like real trauma issues, and it's just like, oh.
She deserves the world.
She give her the world, guys. She deserves it. Don't.
And I think the only female character that they actually like didn't false advertise with is Puchera. Like she's like Puchera is just Puchera.
Yeah. Valid.
The 4-star is just like, yeah, you know, I can see her going and having a spa day. I can see that.
Yeah. It's like, by no means do I mean to be like, oh, how dare you, you know, like shame people, because like despite the fact that I don't have as much comfort with that kind of content just in general, I am more of a sex positive person. It's just that like my comfort level is not where other people's are, and it's not where other people are like expecting to see that, to be like, oh well, you have to earn my interest by doing X, Y, and Z.
So you mean by like earn interest, like the game, or
in the game or the character, by being like, look at how sexy they are. Like, I'm not the kind of person that looks for it. I look more for the content of their character and how they're written.
Also, the one thing going back is that and this is probably why I like for example, in different like and I guess I like more the ara ara, I guess you could say, kind of characters because in a lot of like pinpoints, it's like owning the sexuality. Like, oh yeah, I am sexy. I do like doing this, and I'm making, and it is in indebted in like her characters, stuff like that, and like these different characters. Um, that when you meet certain kind of um like fan service, that it's like kind of in the false advertisement sense, it's like kind of disillusion and also kind of not giving that character enough love, in my opinion, you know? Because if, like, for example, if we're talking about, like, um, if, you know, if we're talking about, I'm thinking of the 10-year-old lady, and she was sensuous, and she, like, that was her character, that she's, like, you know, like likes to flirt with people, likes to do all that, then I wouldn't be as like upset by the trailer. But it's only until when you get to know the character you're like, oh, girly, they did you wrong, honey boo boo, you deserve much better.
Yeah. Mona, was there anything else you wanted to add on that?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm like, do whatever you want. I just have
Literally,
opinions.
Opinion.
It's not even
no,
like I'm
actually,
trying to be.
I'm right.
I'm not even trying to be disrespectful or say that I'm right. What I'm trying to say is that it caters to a different group of people than the type of people I am.
Yeah. That's completely reasonable. I would also just say that, like, at least when it comes to Hoyo's games, across the board with them, there is a distinct shift in how ZZZ markets their characters.
Yeah, I agree.
And how Genshin and HSR market their characters, or how every other gacha game markets their character to a degree, actually. Because even when you factor in games like Nikke, the character, like the trailers and the media that they do outside of the game teasing the character and in preparation for the character, you know, for the most part, they're always like, okay, this is still very much the character. Like, if you watch all of the Sirini stuff that just came out for her prior to her release, and then you play the game, it's the same character. There's no character, no disconnect between the Sirini we see in those trailers and the Sirini we see in the game. Same thing in Genshin. The Zhongli we see in all of those trailers that he had before the game's release and before his character release, it's the same character. There is no difference between the Zhongli in those trailers and the Zhongli in the game that you can pull and get. Whereas in ZZZ, it's almost like they're fantastical versions of the that only exist in the trailerverse, but they don't actually exist in the game.
Yeah.
And that's like even for that's like even for like the versions of the guys you see in that game, they're more similar to their trailer versions, but like even for them, like for the most part, like I'm thinking about lighter, like if you actually compare the lighter in the trailer is just a cool guy, just like a stereotypical cool guy, but then you play the story with all of them, all of the sons of Caledon, and you're like, oh, okay, so he's actually a lot more responsible. He's not just a too cool for school type guy. Like, he actually cares about the people that he's with, and he doesn't just go around smashing people's faces just because he thinks that's a cool way to spend a Saturday. So it's like even though the guys don't the same amount of fan service that the female characters will have, it is really weird that like the trailers don't actually mirror the way the characters are in the game in ZZZ compared to like Genshin and stuff. like for me that was always weird. But I
Yeah.
guess that just leaves my opinion.
Go for
And I
it.
think the last thing I want to add too. I was gonna say, the last thing I want to add is that you don't need to add sexy fan service for someone to love a character per se. Like I'm thinking of like Farina from Genshin. Like
Mhm.
in no way, shape, or form was she like ever. She's just a fun gal, you know. Like she's great and wonderful, and you know,
God, Farina was
tragic.
such a cool character. She was such a good character. I agree. But and Mariana. Oh,
I think she died.
she
Rest
got
in peace.
obliterated. Well,
I'll never forget.
she went to the shadow realm.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Goodbye.
I guess
See you
that just
later.
leaves me and my for me, and please understand, guys. This is just my opinion, although it is the
I'm so
all
glad you
this
cut
stuff-
out.
no. So all these for me, it's very much a matter of when playing these games, I'm always asking myself who's the core audience for these games? Who does this appeal to them? Who would this appeal to? And then lastly, if something is put into this game and someone consumes that media, is it harming anyone else? So like, you know, like when ZZZ, for example, was brand new. Oh, there she goes. So like when ZZZ was brand new and people were talking about Lucia and her name's not Lucia. Her name is the little girl from
Nicole?
The what was
No, what's her name?
Lucy. I think it's Lucy or whatever.
Well,
You
there's
know,
Lucy
you
and
know the
there's
girl with the
Piper.
pigs.
Oh, that's
Yeah, the
Lucy.
girl with the pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Piper, and people were how, you know, they have childlike bodies, and it's just like it's really weird, or like even, and she's back, or a character like Nekomata, a character that, you know, at first glance, but because to me, at first glance for me, I thought that compared to at least Lucy and Piper, I was okay. I could see Nekomata being an adult and but then oh never mind, I was so fucking wrong. I was like so wrong. I was like
As is
way
many
off.
such cases.
I was like okay, but like but I asked myself, does the character that we're viewing, character that we're talking, are they like if someone, you know, if this character appeals to someone, whether it's whether it's for good or bad, you know, whether they have like, you know, perverse intentions or not, if this character appeals to them, is it hurting anyone else of a similar type in real life? And I've just decided that when it comes to those characters, it's always weird to me how the communities are like the reception, regardless of intention. They're always it's almost always not good. But I think that the stigma being bad is also what's wrong. Because like when you look at a character like Nekomata, you understand that they're going for something that is legal. That they're shooting for something that is legal, but only barely so. Even regardless of what her actual age is, and you look at that later, it's crazy. I can't believe you guys did that. But like, you know, it's legal, but just barely so, because you contrast her You contrast her with an actual underage character like Ellen, the first character that we ever got in the game. That character is 16. That character is not an adult. But you look at that character. You look at how she was marketed, although they did market her a lot more modestly than a character like Jane Doe. You look at how that character was marketed, and you go, they're attracting the wrong crowd because I know this character definitively is underage. There is no debate about this. In her own trailer, they reveal how to hold that character. This character is a second year in high school, man. You cannot be talking about these characters and market them this way and push them out like that, and then not expect people to like give you that like a weird look and stuff like that. So, but that's why I also like. I'm a person that doesn't mind any fan service, regardless of how far you go. Shit, I play Nikke. No matter how far you go, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when I get into the game and I see the characters and I see them interacting, like and you especially have to do this with a game like because and for the most part, all of those female characters are over sexualized to high hell. And then you play the story, and their characters are nothing like what nothing like what you see in game. Like their body types don't match their personalities. It's like so weird. And you just watch it. You go, okay, I feel nothing for this because I know that this is supposed to be appealing to a specific demographic. It's definitely not me. Muna is the same way. It's definitely not for Muna. But we're like, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I'm definitely that person that would say it shouldn't be in the game, but I understand that sex sells, so it will always be in these games. And if they think that they can squeeze out a niche fetish for people who are into characters like Piper and Lucy for the wrong reasons, that's what they're gonna do. And it's never gonna change. And so people should just, at least for me, I feel like people should just look at it and just not care. Because the more, because it's so easy to care. Like I feel in Muna's case, because I mean, me and Muna do agree a lot on this particular subject that I feel like it's so egregious that Muna goes in the way of not liking it. For me, it's so egregious that like it makes me not even care about the character. Like when I got Jane Doe, I was like, I got 2 copies of her, one's in full. I have never used Jane Doe. I have never used Jane Doe. That is how little I care about her character, and it's solely because of her marketing. If she had just come out no character trailer and what I got of Jane Doe was who she was in the story, I probably would have liked Jane Doe. And the only reason why I used a character like Ellen before Miyabi came out, the superior ice character, is I liked Shark Girls. I liked her theming. I was like, she was very cool. She uses scissors. She's a shark girl. She says Shark Nami when she ults. It's like some of the most. It's like so up my alley. That like because she was much more tame than like a Jane Doe or a Cantarella trailer, I was able to still enjoy Ellen Joe. But like characters like Nicole, I don't care for.
No, you don't care for Nicole.
Characters like Jane Doe, I don't really care for.
Nicole's a good reason why I even was interested in ZZZ.
Right?
Yeah, oh my God. Shu Yuen, the police girl, big booty police girl. I'm just like,
I love her.
Big booty Judy.
Big booty Judy.
Trigger was the only one that, in spite of everything they did to try to make me just like the character, Trigger is the only one that I like. I'm like, when you gotta like Trigger, you gotta get Trigger because
I do like Trigger. Despite
the fact that her booty be wagging. Come on, man.
it's just a little distracting. It's just a little distracting.
We gotta get dress code on here right now, guys.
Because how are you a sniper rifle, but I can hear your ass clapping from all
Yeah,
the way on the
exactly.
rooftop?
She ain't no sniper. She be fucking alerting the guards from 50 miles away.
And then there are characters like Evelyn. I was really interested in, like, because I liked Astriel. I liked her and Evelyn's dynamic. Cause see, ZZZ is the game that I don't even watch the character trailers anymore. I'm not even gonna hold you. I watched the Puchera trailer just because I wanted to see what her trailer was gonna be like. That was the last character trailer I watched. I don't watch character trailers when it comes to ZZZ. I don't consume their live streams. The only thing I consume when I play ZZZ is what's, or if I'm like, oh, the drip marketing for ZZZ is out. Oh, okay. Yi Xuan, I'll pull for her. I like her. She's one of the Void Hunters. I'll pull for her. She's cool. I like Yi Xuan. But like, I didn't watch her trailer where she fought me out. I didn't watch any of the other characters' trailers because ZZZ and games like Nikkei, New Carnival, Lads, I'm just like, they're so unappealing with the way their marketing happens that like I would just rather see what's in the game because I know that whatever it's gonna be, it's just gonna turn me off of the character, and I'm just not gonna like the character.
Yeah, that's a conversation me and Sarah's had where I was like, "Oh, did you see the new event, like PV for New Carnival?" And Sarah's like, "No, because they don't tell me anything about the event itself." And I'm like, "You was right. I'm thinking with my my boner right here."
Yeah, I literally am like, I don't watch those. They don't tell me anything about the event, which is actually what I care about. Why would I?
Meanwhile, HSR, I haven't missed a trailer, bro. I tune into the live streams. I'm like, HSR is really good at like dragging me in. It's like beats me to death every time. Makes me cry. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
That's segue.
now we get to discussing. We get to discussing Renacida because Julian. Oh wait,
Give me 1 second.
Okay. We'll let Julian make it. We're gonna talk about HSR because before we get to Cookie Run Kingdom and let Raven take over because I know Raven's about to pop the fuck up. Let's talk about Infurious.
Yeah.
I thought, and so this is probably gonna be a lot of me and Muna again.
Yeah.
Actually, so I'm sorry, guys, but feel free to offer any questions or anything as we go through.
It's okay. I love hearing your voices, guys.
Amphorius was probably one of the worst story outings that Honkai Star Rail has done. And I know that sounds shocking coming from me, Muna, but I build up this premise, and I'm gonna hand over to you, and I'm gonna give you your thoughts.
I was gonna say, tell me why you don't like it, and I might agree. We'll see.
Yeah. So, Amphorius, and this is, mind you, the 3.0 of Amphorius. This is a staple across every single version 1 that has happened in Honkai Star Rail so far. That happened in 2.0, happened in 1.0. Well, not necessarily in 1.0 because Bellabog was in, but it happened in 2.0 with the beginning of Pentaconi. It's probably going to happen in 4.0 with the beginning of whatever we're doing next. It's happened in Genshin. It happened in ZZZ. It happened in WUWA. It happened in every gacha game that I have ever played. For me, this is ubiquitous across the gacha scene. But with HSR and Amphorius, 3.0 was a completely meaningless thing. I understand it was there to give us world building, to introduce us to the Chrysosairs, to sort of tease intrigue with what Herta and them had going on, and to show us what the story arc was going to be, because they said in the 3.0 live stream that Amphoreus would span this entire year. It would take the entire year, and then at the end, we would go back to Penacony 3.8. That was what Shaoji told us at the 3.0 live stream. 3.0, even for a setup patch, gave me nothing. It was from top to bottom a meaningless patch. Nothing of great. I mean, even for a beginning patch where like it's supposed to try to grip you, there was nothing gripping about 3.0. 3.1, which did give some more, which gave me more, which was more, meat on the bone. 3.1 still was very bland in terms of, because it gave us, and what for me it was so tragic is that it gave us the stuff with Tribby, and it gave us the stuff with Mighty, and it gave us the conclusion to, well, the then conclusion for Mighty Mosa's story, and the death of Trian, which was very heartfelt, and I cared about those things in the moment, but over the course of Amphoreus, and as I've had time to think about it, I felt like it was padding, because then we get to 3.2, and we're playing through the caster stuff, and that was when I actually leaned forward, playing through the update, really invested, because I like caster. Casterus is, from 3.0, she was one of the brighter points of that patch for me, because I liked Casterus. And they managed to introduce Anoxa and make him interesting immediately. And because he had such stage presence that he carried that entire patch up until the end of that patch where he died.
Rip.
And Casterus descended into the Netherrealm. And like, you start to follow a trend. So I will say Casterus didn't die. She went and fulfilled her role. But because of what happened in fulfilling her role, she essentially was dead. She was no longer a part of the living world. So she was no longer able to physically help interact with us in the way she had up until 3.2. Anoxa was just straight up dead. He was fully introduced to 3.2, had his entire character arc at 3.2, and then he was gone to 3.2. Trian, a character that I find all three of Triby's characters to be very, very cute and interesting. She died in 3.1. And while Mighty Mos was an immortal character at this point and didn't die, his send-off felt like after just being introduced to him in 3.0 and giving his character in 3.1, that was the conclusion of his character. So, welcome back. So, by proceeding through Amphoreus like this, what we have had one of the Tribbies die. We have had Mighty Mos bid farewell to us because he was no longer an altering character. We had Casterus disappear because she had to fulfill her role as the Death type, with the Death Demigod. And then we had Anoxa, the most interesting character in that Amphoreus at the point, gone. And this was all while we had characters like a guy who nobody liked in 3.0, who became better as Amphoreus proceeded. We still hadn't seen, we had only seen glimpses of Cypher up to this point, because Cypher appeared in 3.2 and actually was doing stuff that she helped us actually get to the final area. But not a lot. There wasn't a lot there with Cypher, and so I'm sitting there and I'm like, who if the story is trying to get me to get attached to these characters, it's not really doing that good of a job, because the two characters I was kind of attached to both got written out of the story just as they began to get interesting. And just as my emotions were beginning, just as I was beginning attached to them, which is Casterus and Anoxa, and they were just wiped away. And that, for me, that felt like they didn't know what they were doing. And it's at this point that I want to turn over to you, Muna. I want to ask you, what did you think about those segments leading up to 3.2 because I want to hold before we get to 3.
So, it was a lot of setup and take away very quickly. But at the same time, for me, I did get attached to those characters, and that's why it bothered me so much they took them away so quickly. They basically like threw them at you, gave you a smattering of who they were in great detail for an entirety of one patch, and then we're like, haha, I'm gonna take your fun new toy away, and then fucking offed them, even if they didn't actually kill them, like in the case of Castris and Mightimos. Like, they just were like,
Right.
you know, you can't have that anymore. And it's like, okay, but why? I love them. Why are you taking them away from me? Stop doing that. Put them back. I want to know more.
Does
Yeah.
it count as fan service too?
This is kind of
Is it serving the fans so that you spend money on the badge?
I mean, they weren't serving me. They're making me upset. I was very upset.
But I would agree. I would say, yeah, that is technically fan service. Maybe a little parasocialism in there as well. Sorry, man, continue.
So, because like I understand what you mean, but for like, so it's like hard to describe. It's like Amphorius as a whole didn't, like, for the beginning of it, didn't really offer a lot to the overall plot, despite the fact that we were like promised that this was gonna be like something big, right?
Right.
It kind of like it kind of dangled you there, being like, aha, you're cut off from the entire universe. But here, have these fun characters. Oh wait, no, you can't have those. I'm taking them back. You can't have those. No more. No.
I got your emotional support character.
And then they were like, oh, but like, pay attention to all of them. Like, take in all this detail. Have this character that has this much importance in this location that you're never going to be able to visit again. And it was a lot of throw information at you, have you sit through 6 hours of cutscene. I'm not even fucking kidding. Almost every single one of these Amphorius streams was 6
They
to
were
7
long-ass.
hours.
They were
6
long-ass
to
chapters.
7 hours, okay? I wasted so much goddamn time in Amphorius just for them to be like, no, you can't have any of that anymore. I'm taking it away.
I'm taking it away.
And making me fucking cry.
You're mine now.
Okay. And so that was all the precursor to when Amphorius actually started being a story. So in 3.3, we follow Hyacinthia, who was the Eye of Twilight's demigod. Hyacinthia's patch, which another character that was introduced in this that I haven't mentioned up to is Finan. Finan was the character that had always been in the background. He was a buddy character. He was one of the, if you don't count meeting Mem at the very start of Amphorius, he was the first character that you actually meet from Amphorius out of all of the rest. And you know, you play through those patches, and all of them were all framed in such a way where it was always like, you know, Castris has to go and become the death demigod. So she's going to fulfill her role. So she's now ascended to her most important point of her story, and now it's done. Anaxa has ascended to being, you know, the demigod of died. Mightimos originally rejected the strife. He rejected the idea of the strife demigod, and instead allowed Finan to claim that for himself, only for Finan to fail, which Aglaya already had known that he was going to fail. And so Finan's character throughout this, you know, leading up to 3.3, he had been a character who, while front facing and was like there, it almost felt like Don Hung and the Trailblazer. And this, you know, as an aside, this could just be because those characters weren't voiced for the beginning parts of Amphorius when me and Muna played through. They're voiced now, but they weren't voiced then. But their voice actors were striking at them. The Trailblazer and Don Hung didn't feel like characters in Amphorius. Like, yes, they were the ones that were going, okay, I guess we'll help here, and we'll do this, and we'll proceed through the story like this. But it was very much as if Finan, who wasn't a character that we were playing as, had taken our role, and we were just there as spectators, leading into 3.3. So in 3.3, they've gotten every other core flame, but the Sky Titans and World Bearing. Those were the only two that they had not returned. They had returned all of the other ones, and so now we had to go fight Aquila, which was the Titan that Hyacinth was going to have to return. Aglaya dies and is fully off-screen assassinated. And like, while I understand that the storyline reason for why that had to happen was because Aglaya didn't want it. Aglaya and Tribby had already expected that she was going to die, and she was planning to use her death to further the people of Akuma to get behind the remaining Chrysoceres, who didn't. People like Finan, who she was grooming this entire time to become the new protector and leader of Akuma in her absence once she was eventually gone. And because she was completely selfless and was not the colossal piece of shit that we thought she was, her plan worked flawlessly because she fooled everyone, and she ended up being, using her death as the catalyst to push Finan further. And the only request she had was that she did not want her body to be found. So, in story, it makes complete sense. It went exactly as Aglaya wanted. But as a spectator, up to this point, it was very unsatisfying to see these generic-looking NPC characters who, in the lore of this story, were just regular nobody. Who just regular humans. And Aglaya was a demigod who had the ability to know where you were, what you were doing, and when you were doing it, as long as you were in Akuma. And okay. So Aglaya's gone. And this is also the point where, now that she's gone, the remaining Chrysocera that we hadn't really got that much attention to, Cypher, she had to step up in her absence. And we've run these two stories parallel, where Cypher is going to get the world-bearing core flame and try to keep it safe, because Flame Reaver, the main antagonist at this point, who's been terrorizing them this entire story, well, since 3.1. He been terrorizing them since 3.1 because he didn't appear in 3.1. Cypher took on that task. A character that even through trapping him in the past, they could not stop him. The character that had killed Trian earlier in the story. So he proved that even when you had everybody there, it took combined might of Mightymost and all of them to stop this guy once. And they didn't beat him. And Cypher was going to take him on by herself. While Finan and the rest of the cast, Hyacinth, the Trailblazer, Danham, went to go deal with Aquila. And there we get, we dig into Hyacinth's backstory. We learn about her people. We learn about how there was a prophecy that, that was about the Day Thunder Knight, who had this showdown with the Sky Titan in the past, who couldn't necessarily beat the Sky Titan, but they did deliver a serious blow to them and then merged with them to stall them so that more of her descendants could come along and potentially one day reclaim the sky. Turns out that was a complete lie. That
fucking story reveal,
lie.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
That was a total lie. What actually happened was that Hyacinth's ancestor, the actual ancestor that Hyacinth and her people had been following the prophecy of this entire time, completely sold out their entire bloodline because the Day Thunder Knight, who had merged with the Sky Titan and had taken their divinity, had lost their humanity. Because slow over time, for each character, it is different on how it affects them when the divinity strikes them. like for Aglaya, she was gradually losing her emotions. But for the Day Thunder Knight, it hit her all at once. And so she became immediately human and wanted to wipe out all of them. There would be no more Emphorius if the Day Thunder Knight had her way. So ironically, if it wasn't for Nikador blinding Aquila, there would have been no Emphorius to speak of, and it would have ended before people like Aglaya and them had been born. And so the only reason, at the end, Nikador had that fight with them, blinded them, put them down. The only reason why she remained in the sky and stayed in stasis was because she was like, hey, you're trading your descendants, future. If one of your descendants can come here and prove to me why humanity deserves to continue living, then I'll let them go. But I don't believe that your descendant will ever be capable of doing that. So when they come here, I'm just going to murder them to prove how wrong you were.
You didn't give them a chance.
That was so, I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. And it made me feel real bad for Hyacinth because she had been raised on that prophecy. She had believed that she was the descendant of a great hero, and so she thought to herself, well, even if I'm not as strong as that great hero, maybe there's something that I can do to save the world without without having to be a fighter. And it turns out, no, you weren't. Instead, that great hero was actually trying to be the architect of your destruction the entire time. You were just being fed to the meat grinder because that was what your ancestors promised. I was like, bro. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Meanwhile, we're watching in real time as Best Boy Fighter, without even having touched a core flame yet, is losing his humanity as well. What was going on with Finan? He was like,
he was rapidly degrading. He became so angry, and so really what it was is that he was grief-stricken, like incredibly grief-stricken by the loss of so many that meant so much to him, and it basically would have reignited the trauma, because if you remember from earlier on where they described how Aglaya found him, he was very much a shell of a human being when Aglaya found him, and it's like he went back to that.
Yep. Because losing Aglaya really had a bad effect on him, and it was really sad. So hold on for a second.
Okay. Because that basically was his secondary mother figure, all things considered.
No, it's so sad.
Yeah, Emphorius sucked. I spent majority of Emphorius trying not to cry. I was an emotional fucking wreck over Emphorius, and I still am. And I haven't even finished yet. Technically speaking, I still have a little bit more cutscene to watch, which I'm gonna have to finish.
Reader.
Hello. We've got a little bit more Emphorius to go through.
Oh my god, how much more?
I don't know. I didn't spoil myself. All I know is I have pain and suffering on the way. Trust. Literally is my pain and suffering hour. All the time. Every time we open Emphorius, I go, alright, how much am I gonna cry today, boys?
Here we go again.
I'm back in the trenches.
Yes. You have the war flashback meme. Shop.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
And so that was really sad. That was really sad for Finan, for Hyacinth. And after an epic battle, we succeeded. But that was also when so they beat the Sky Titan. They prove, hey, the power of friendship prevails. And Cypher, at the same time, after having saved the world-bearing core flame, she gets murdered by the Flame Reaper. And
Can't win,
and
boys.
and that twist is so amazing. I'm just gonna leave it for people to actually follow who's played,
Yeah.
who's gonna potentially play through the story. That twist was so amazing. I'm gonna leave Cypher's twist as is. I'm not even gonna explain what the twist was behind Cypher. But Cypher dies, and because of Cypher's death, that triggers stuff to happen, and circumstances accelerate the situation in Euphorius where Hyacinth has to pull what Castorus did and has to immediately assume the core flame of the sky and become the Sky Titan immediately because she doesn't even get a chance to like properly see Euphorius again because she has to fulfill her destiny immediately. So, similar to Castorus, while not dead, by becoming one with the sky, she effectively removed herself from the story. So that technically counts as a character death. So in 3.3, we lost Aglaya off screen. We lost Hyacinth. We lost Cypher. And the only Chrysosaur that was left was Tribby, Trinan, Mighty Mouse, who was still protecting Akuma, or who was still protecting Euphorius, and Finan. We get back to Akuma. The sky's falling. Shit's blowing up. I think people are peeing on themselves. It's a really desperate situation. And the Flame Reaper kills Mighty Mouse.
Yep.
He just happens to know where his weakness is because Mighty Mouse has a specific weakness where he's immortal in every case except for if he's stabbed through his, what was it, Luna?
10th thoracic vertebrae.
When you stab him there, he dies. And he only told that weak point to one character in the story, and that character was his boyfriend. Mighty Mouse.
Thank you.
I mean, Mighty Mouse told Finan, and the Flame River kills him by stabbing him in his 10th thoracic vertebrae. We don't know how that happened. Looks at the camera.
Yeah, well, also
We don't
looks
know.
at the
Looks
camera.
at the
I
camera.
We don't know how that happened.
Uh-huh.
And Tribby and Trinan use the last of their power to activate the Century Gate to get Finan into the
Vortex of
what was
Genesis.
it? The Vortex of Genesis, and to have a Century Gate outside at the entrance of Akuma to help people get out because it was no longer safe to be in Akuma. Without a Goliath, there was no more golden to protect people. And with most of the with all of the Chrysosaurs with Finan dead, there was nothing to protect the rest of the people from the Black Tide and the monsters that were sweeping across the mission. So Finan has to finally retrieve the world-bearing Chlorophyll and become the demigod of world-bearing because Euphorius is not going to last much longer. And that is where 3.3 ends. It ends with Don Hung fighting a 1v20 against Flame Reaver because Flame Reaver has Shadow Clone Jutsu. The Trailblazer being told by Finan, hey, I gotta go do this stuff. Peace out. Finan going to the Vortex of Genesis and every other Chrysosaur being murdered. That all happened in 3.3.
I don't like this, Mr. Krabs.
That all
I
happened
told
in
you.
3.3.
It sucked.
So-
Euphorius sucked.
So you see what my issue was? Granted, we are breezing quite a few details because we do want, the two people actually playing the story to eventually.
That's me.
But
Hey guys.
but do you see what I'm saying? 3.0 to 3.2 stuff happens, but it's like it's not really to write home about. It's mostly filler. And then 3.3, everything happens. Everything happens.
I enjoyed the story.
So 3.3 though, I'll give it this. 3.3, made me feel like Bellabog again, especially when we
Yeah.
were fighting Aquila with
Oh,
the
yeah.
music, the amping of the stakes, the character motivations, everything. It was so intense. It was so good, and it almost made up for the fact that I had to go through at least 3 patches of garbage. Because 3.2 was good, but
Yeah.
Is this mine or here? This one? This one?
but you know, and then 3.2. I mean, if 3.3 had been the ending,
There's milk there if you want to eat a
okay. 3.3, it was.
Yeah.
3.3 was. If it had ended there, I'd be like, damn, man, what a crazy ass story. It was amazing. I mean, sure, the MC was kind of like not a real character at that point, so it's like, you know, it is what it is. But okay. And then 3.4 happened. And in my opinion, Minnie,
Yeah.
3.4 was the best patch of that point.
I think
I like 3.7 because I've actually finished it. I like 3.7. I think 3.4 is the best F4 patch.
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like that was the peak of Amphorius, and like the only thing that was somewhat better, I think, was that part 3.3 where everything had reached this sort of like apex of where the stakes were literally like live or die and everyone was dying around you. But basically that was the lead up to 3.4. I think a lot of other, like, as much as I like the characters and everything, the rest of Amphorius kind of falls flat from what is the peak of Finun's character. Because 3.7 I think has a lot that I do like about it, but I have a really big complaint about how long this is. And I've told you, I've said it on stream about how they took something that could have been way shorter, and I know it's probably because people don't understand exactly what was going on, and so they felt they needed to explain it. But I felt like at the point of which, you know, past 3.4, a lot of it was just dragging your goddamn feet and not really getting anywhere.
3.4 and 3.3 were like for me, I would say 3.3 was an 8 out of 10. 3.4 for me was a 9 out of 10. 3.4, and granted, maybe it's because for us we're blind to it, so we got to see Finan grow as a character for what was it, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. We got to see Finan grow for 5 whole chapters. So when you get to the chapter that is just dedicated to Finan, his story, all of the major twists and turns, the big reveals and everything that's surrounding him. How is he related to Kevin? When you get to that in 3.4, it was just perfect. It was a raising of the stakes I had never seen before. It was an emotional like roller coaster that for me it was like it really messed me up. It really and I don't mean that in like it's a piece of literature, and like when a piece of literature can affect you so greatly that you say it quote unquote messes you up like that. It's like it I felt like I changed because of 3.4. Like as a person, I've changed because that update was crazy. It was crazy how we got to that point. Like it blew everything away from me in 3.4. Like Bellabog didn't matter anymore. The 2 times we went to the Law Food didn't matter. The entirety of Pinacone is whatever. The beginning half of 3.0, I don't think. I mean, I'm open to be proven wrong. I don't think they will produce something that will be better than 3.4. Just because that patch was so well done. Like there was some bloat there that they could have trimmed, definitely. Because Xiaoji likes to bloat the fuck out of his patches, and that's okay. 3.4. But like 3.4, I can't sing his praises enough. You need to fully you need to fully experience that match.
Okay. I will.
3.5 and 3.6 we can talk about together. In 3.5, we got to meet Hycelians and Ceredra.
Yeah.
Two characters that had been completely absent from the plot, who did not matter up until that point, and did not matter after that.
Yep.
There we go.
They had one patch. They both died. The end.
and then 3.6, which was a good patch. It made Don Hung finally did something. He was useless the entirety of Amphorius up to this point. He was not a character.
Don Hung had his growth arc in one patch, and I'm kind of upset that it was like that. Because it was like
So
2
fast.
seconds. It really should.
It was like it was like, yo, okay. It was like, yo. I'm being a little bit unfair to 3.5. So let me retract 3.5. 3.5 was the patch that showed me that like the people's perception that Hoyo is scared to kill characters off. That, like none of the Amphorius characters are gonna stay dead. They're gonna find a way to break something. 3.5 was the patch that showed me that was fully bullet. Because when you play through that patch, that Hoyo was so definitive about what's gonna happen to these characters in that patch.
Yeah.
That even without seeing 3.6 and 3.7, you could just play 3.5 and you could say without a shadow of a doubt, there was no way any of these characters would survive. Because not only did they bring back all of the Chrysosairs, except for Final,
To fucking kill him again.
To find out why.
Asterisk.
Mhm.
They brought them all back
Double kill.
to kill them in such a way that it systematically destroyed them as characters in that thing. And they were not the characters that we knew. Like the Casterus that was in that one, who became the demigod of the Death Titan again, was completely divorced from the Casterus that we had spent the entirety of 3.0 to 3.2 with. The Anoxa in that, while still very showman, very in your face, very main stage, completely different Anoxa from the one that we had saw before that we had only gotten to see in 3.2. Even the Mighty Most in that wasn't even immortal.
Nope.
That was what was crazy. He wasn't even immortal in 3.5. He was just a normal human. Because the circumstances that surrounded him were different in 3.5 compared to what happened prior. Because he became immortal because of a specific event.
Go play the game.
Fails. Yeah, you gotta play the game. Play the game. Anyway, back to 3.6. Back to 3.6 focused on Don Hung, March 7th, Evernight, and Siren.
Kinda. It really felt like it really was Don Hung, even though, okay, my issue with it is that I think that we should have had a little bit more of the Don Hung rise and fall, character arc there, but they really were like, here you go, sprinkled some fucking cheese on it.
Yeah,
Here you go, eat it.
Yeah.
And
it's fine.
it mostly
so much.
focused on Evernight and the relationship between Evernight, the character, and March.
Yep, the character. And True Love Prevails. And that was 3.6.
Yeah.
We did get watching Muna play Amphorius was also pretty funny. Because I got to see Muna go from being kind of intrigued by Lygus to hating him. That was really funny.
Oh man, I hate that
The
motherfucker.
Lygus hate was
Listen,
so funny. The Lygus
I
hate was
went
so funny.
from-
Lygus just showed up.
I went from being like, who is this guy, to like, fuck
Well,
this
you know
guy.
what?
Being the most toxic gamer. I was more toxic than League players about this motherfucking man. Alright? And I'm still toxic
hated
about
him.
it.
But it just hated Lygus.
I
I
hate
think
him so
I think
much.
Lygus might have been. one of the best written characters in all of it.
Oh yeah, and I still hate. That's why I hate him. He was such a good villain. I hate him.
And 3.7. So 3.7 is why I think Amphorius as a whole was a failure. Because you play through 3.7, you get to experience like you get to experience what Amphorius was like for Cyrene and for the not Cyrene side eye. You get to experience what it was like for them because you understand that like the stakes have already been raised to the top. Iron Tomb is about to descend. All life is about to end. And if they don't do anything to stop him, not just Amphorius, all life is ruined.
Yep, the whole
It's gonna be over.
fucking universe and everything under.
There won't be a Honkai Star Rail.
Nah,
There won't be a Honkai Star Rail.
be a
It'll
dead
just be
guy star rail.
I really don't think that they thought that one through. And the other emanators of the are just gonna let that shit rock. That was crazy. But you experience it, and it shows me. And for me, the patch was like, okay. Amphorius was 3 dead patches, 2 good patches, 2 meaningless patches. Because like I'm like, I like Don Hum, March 7th, every night, really good character. Their updates were they were just filler. They were there because they had to quote unquote buy time to get to the ending of Amphorius. They were just there to have a 3.7. That was why. They were
Yeah,
like,
I think
because
that was kind of like the whole character development on both of them was so rushed and so kind of like thrown in there just to be like, haha, look, it's significant. Look at that.
And like I liked the tidbits of Hyacinth's character that we saw in 3.5. I did not like. I think Sarija is the worst crash sister. I do not like her character whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel the same.
She's just not a character I like. It sucks that she's like a mandatory character for Finding Team because I hate that. I don't want to pull that character, but they were characters who should have been more relevant sooner. Because I understand that by the time we make it to Amphorius in the story, their lives have already passed.
Yeah.
So that's why they weren't involved in the story before this point. But we should have gotten flashbacks or something for these characters sooner than 3.5 because they were literal Who characters in 3.5, and at the end of 3.5 they remained Who characters. They were who? Who? Who?
Yeah.
No.
3.6 tried to develop Hyacinth a little bit more because she was still involved in that one. Sarija was gone. That character never came back to 3.7.
No.
And so
You mean Hysolence?
yeah, Hyacinth. And so like 3.7 is like if Amphorius could be boiled down to just 3.7, Amphorius was a good story. But because you have to sit back and you have to look at the rest of Amphorius, and you have to say, so in a, what was it? 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.5, 3.6, in an 8-patch cycle, which spanned the majority of this year, from January till now, you had 3 meaningful patches. I can't help but feel like Amphorius was probably the worst thing Child-J ever did. And it was poor pacing. It was the finish was like 3.5, 3.6 was just there as like, we gotta hand these out to hit 3.7. 3.3 kind of rushed things. 3.4 was fine just because of how contained it was. 3.5 and 3.6 was there just to pad us and push us towards 3.7. And then 3.7, while a good patch, falls behind both 3.3 and 3.4 for me because of how bad the pacing was in it, of how rushed it was. It was like, we're at the end, we gotta hit the ending point. We gotta, everything that we didn't reveal before, reveal it now. The Cyrene, the Mem is Cyrene, except it's not Cyrene, it's this character. Except it's not that character, it's this character. And this character makes all of this shit horrifying. And then because it's that character, and this is all supposed to be a loop, this character can't exist without that character having been born first. But that character wasn't born until this character existed. So like it's just for any. I would not blame anybody who played who was confused, because unless you've consumed every crumb about the remembrance that existed in the simulated universe and Divergent universe, and in that side Herda story, and in the two other modes that nobody played but and like other lore heads, you would know. You're gonna be completely confused. You're gonna understand none of it because it's not even, you know, show don't tell or tell don't show. It's we showed you shit that makes no sense to anybody. It's even if you've been playing since the beginning with 3.0 and you didn't skip a single cutscene, it would still make no sense. You have to have that unvoiced background dialogue that's just there as throw to anybody else as throwaway lines on the screen in a random mode that you play once a week. So like I give 3.7 I give it like an 8, maybe a 9. Even though I feel like 3.3 is still better. And overall 3.4 is the best patch. And then overall I have to give Amphorius like a 6 out of 10. It's so Pentaconi was better than me.
Yeah.
And Pentaconi's ending was also dog.
Like, it had
But
such a
Pentacon-
good middle, and then it fell on its face right at the end.
Yeah.
Usually how stories go.
Like, if you didn't like Charmony Dove, don't play Amphorius.
Oh my god.
Because
The fucking
because when
cave.
You get to
The
3.3,
fucking cave!
When you get to 3.5 and you have to listen to Lygus explain to you what the allegory of the cave is, you'll just blow your shit smooth off.
I'm surprised that I'm still here talking about it.
Like,
Motherfucker did not shut the fuck up.
like, do I even want to say so? I feel like I have to say because some people that I've watched play this game didn't fucking get it, even when their chat broke it down to them. So I will, even though Muna got it, and even though they haven't finished it, I will break it down.
Yeah, because it's gonna
So
be
the
confusing
Cyrene-
as fuck to anybody.
Yeah. So for Julian, Aiden, Mariana, who probably didn't
Yeah.
need all that stuff in the simulated universe, all that
I
stuff.
never have.
I'm gonna break this down. So
So I do read it, but then I
Irene.
immediately forget it.
Cyrene and
Yeah.
Mem are two different characters.
Yes.
What we learned was that Cyrene, at the end of all those cycles, because like Finan, she also made a sacrifice. Whereas Finan lived through those cycles and had to deal with the suffering of seeing his friends die, and even in some, being the reason that his friends died, he killed them. Cyrene, who died at the beginning of each of those cycles to facilitate the time shenanigans that they were doing, she went to the mainframe of Amphorius. Because lo and behold, it's not real; it's a simulation. She went to the mainframe and she explained her story, the life that she had up to that point, and everything. And she did this endlessly for 30 million lifetimes. And because she had to die at the end, she would die. And that developed the Demiurge Matrix that was Mem. But they had forgotten everything. when they became, and so they became a memo spread, who then developed, while with the Trailblazer, into Cyrene because Cyrene was like, "You are my living legacy." Jillian will get that reference. That was what Cyrene did with the Demiurge. Only, you know, unlike where Cloud was just an imitation of Zack and wasn't actually trying to be, the Demiurge just straight up said, "I will be next time," even though I'm not so. Well, anyway, it turns out that person is Fuli, the Aeon of Remembrance, the God of Remembrance. But the God of Remembrance doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because the God of Remembrance has it. What?
Oh no, I'm trying to follow along. Give me a second.
Yeah. So the God of Remembrance, this Aeon that we have characters like Black Swan who follow them, who have gained power from them, their Aeon does not exist yet. Because they have not been born.
Oh.
Because Fuli exists in the future, while everything else exists in the past. But here's the thing. When we find this out, you then see that in order for the possibility, so that nothing, so that there's no like distortions in reality, so there's paradox. Cyrene, the Demiurge, has to delete herself and Emphoria so that their memories can be preserved in the book that you've been carrying with you. So that she can one day be born as Fuli, because Fuli hasn't been born yet. So she had to rewrite all of history up to this point. Because you played through all of Emphoria's up to this point. She had to then walk back through time to make sure that all the canonical events that happened in Emphorius happen. Otherwise, Fuli doesn't get born.
Oh. Oh. Huh.
A god that hasn't been born yet has to that exists only in the future is affecting the past because we are currently playing the past.
Oh.
But that's not to be confused with Terminus, the Aeon that Elio worships, who Elio being the Elio of the Stellar Line Hunter. That's not, they're two different eons, because Terminus is traveling backwards through time to when it was born, because Terminus was born in the past, but he exists at the end of the universe, and he travels backwards through time, giving off visions to his followers, to the people who have followed him, basically his emanators. And Elio is using those visions to guide the Trailblazer in such a way through the Stellar Hunters, so that while they can't prevent things from happening, but they can pick scenarios where the thing that happens because isn't the worst scenario for the world, for the entire universe. So, like, you know, not to make light of it, like, say when 9/11 happened, that was a canonical event. With Terminus,
Oh my god! Didn't we hear that? Wait,
You cannot make me not laugh. I'm sorry.
No. I knew it was gonna be fine. So, what Terminus would do? Terminus would give Elio a vision. 9/11 is gonna happen, and this is what's gonna happen. Okay. The preceding event before that happened is this: a kid is playing on a playground. If that kid's mom comes and picks them up, instead of what happened on 9/11 happened, the White House gets involved, which is also a horrible tragedy. So, in order to make sure that the two towers get knocked down by those planes, that Elio has to orchestrate events to where instead of the kid's mom coming to pick them up, their father picks them up.
I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to.
But see, in both of these scenarios, a tragedy happened. But nuking Washington off the map is a bigger tragedy than losing all those people and the towers in 9/11. And so when you start how the Stellar Round Hunters work through that lens, and you start understanding how Terminus functions, it makes you wonder, what the fuck is Fooly doing? Because Fooly doesn't care. Because see, for Fooly, they don't care about any of this other shit.
Mhm.
Because regardless of all, when the world ends, they're just going to completely recreate the reality from their memories. So none of that matters to them. They don't care if the worst case scenario happens. They don't care if the best case scenario happens, because regardless, when the world ends, when the universe ends, they are just going to take all of the memories from the past, mix them up, and then recreate reality. So now we go back to Cyrene.
Oh, sorry.
That is the entirety of Amphorius. Amphorius had to happen, because if we didn't go to Amphorius and we went to any of the other areas that at the beginning of the quest, if we went to any of those other areas, in one of them, Herta becomes the third emperor, which is very bad. And another one, we get wiped out by Selenova, which is another one of the followers of destruction. And another one, we get murked by Zephyr, who is another follower of destruction. And I don't know what's going on, but like, it's just like for whatever to run into like one of the people from destruction. It's like so crazy. And then randomly, there was one of them where like Jing Yuan becomes like one of the destructions. It was like really weird. It was like really weird.
King Liu becomes the Lord Ravager.
Yeah, I couldn't really understand it, but I couldn't really follow it. It was really weird. I see that you watched that trailer though, so thank you.
Sorry. I saw it on Twitter. I saw the screenshots on Twitter.
I was like,
I don't.
it was like
watch
it's so frustrating because it's very much a chicken will lay this egg, but that chicken that laid that egg came from that egg. So how did the egg get there? Well, the chicken who laid the egg in this timeline, then retroactively went backwards in time to be in the egg.
Can I say that I actually really hate that logic, and it's
I
part
do too.
it's part of the reason why I'm like, okay, well, I'm over this. I don't want to do this anymore because this sucks.
And for me, that's the second reason why because Shaoji did this when he originally wrote the Chrysos Air story, which was Elysia and by proxy her SB Cyrene. They are systemically the most integral part of the world, and everything must bloom out from them. So like in Elysia's case, you play through the entirety of Honkai Impact, and what you find out in Honkai Impact, all of those Hershers that you find, all of those evil creatures who are born, who are just monsters, who are just these evil beings that can wipe out entire planets, that have this like vendetta against humanity, that humanity is fighting to combat. Well, some of them are trying to control. Humanity is fight with all might to resist and survive another day against the calamities from the sky. Elysia is the first of them, and in fact, all Hershers stem from Elysia. But unlike the other Hershers, who are all contaminated by, human ego, hatred, and all that type of stuff, because they're all contaminated by one random emotion that attached to it, whatever. She's the ego, and the emotion she was contaminated with was love. So unlike all of the other you meet, she is the only one that is, because she was the first Hersher, and she was not contaminated by hatred. She was not contaminated by the negative, because she was the first. But then all Hershers that were birthed from her, she only ever wanted them to, like she had love. But what the narrative in that story failed to understand, and what she failed to understand is that she existed in a world where there were no humans, and then she transported herself to a world where there were humans, who immediately began doing horrific experiments on all of the people that she considered friends, like Kevin Kazlana and all the other ones, that turned them into horrific monsters. The original Chrysos heirs. That was why she wasn't contaminated, though, because she came from a world that had no, and all of the other Hershers were born inside of people during times of great suffering and pain, and that was what twisted them and turned them into those monsters. And that's what Shaoji forgot to understand. By making Cyrene this character, he completely evaporated any story that could have had any meaning with these characters. Because all of the other Chrysoseirs were never real, and the one Chrysoseira that was real wasn't real. She had to delete her own existence so that she could later exist in the future. Fuck, I hate Euphorious, bro.
Yeah.
I hate Euphorious.
I'm losing
I hate
my
it.
mom.
But at the end of the day, you love Euphorious.
Oh my
And-
kids get rid of Furious.
And now I'm looking at Raven.
It's Raven's turn.
I gotta.
Oh wait.
My turn?
Wait. Muna, what did you give him? What rating would you give him?
Right now is kind of plummeting the longer this patch takes.
Okay.
It's like
It's
I
a
want to give
sword
it.
each day.
I want to give it a higher score because I think the writing was good up until the end. Even though the pacing kind of sucked, it was the big points of it were really good. Like it really hit emotionally, which is very important to me. The characters hit emotionally, which is important. But like I said, the pacing kind of sucked. They took everybody away from me. And the ending is way too long. It's way too long. I didn't need the however long it took to get to the point to fight the boss that it fucking took. And then from the boss
That's completely fair.
to have to sit there. And like I know that people needed the explanation, but god fucking damn it, I do not need to watch her walk all the way through Euphorious again.
Like, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go.
I was like, I understand, but I don't need the hand holding. Like, I understand what you were telling me. I don't need to sit here and watch her do this and then be like, haha, I'm disappearing. Bye. Toodles, peace sign. And then not actually disappear because she's fucking Cyrene, so she's just gonna come back. And not even that, like, she's foolish, so she's gonna come back.
Yeah, but if she's fully, then she's already existed. She doesn't.
I know. It's just. Ooh,
I think I'll get it.
I wish.
And long story short,
I wish the plot was better.
Sorry.
I wish the plot was better.
long story short, you should probably just play Currency Wars.
True.
And
So,
now
oh,
we'll
uh,
turn it over.
I gotta tap out. I woke up at 4 this morning and I'm
Oh my
literally
God.
holding on by a thread.
Oh,
Go to sleep. Go to
I will.
sleep.
okay.
Good
Is
night.
your baby crying?
Oh,
Good night.
Good night. Imaginary
My
chat, say
God.
goodnight.
No.
Future chat, say
Aw.
future chat, reach into the past and say goodnight. It's on.
Yeah, pull this Irene and go into the
Is there
past.
really a past?
Yeah, go into the past and tell him to wake up on time so
Yeah.
that he can be tired now.
Yep. See, you gotta stretch yourself all the way through the past. Fuck
Tell
it.
yourself that you're gonna
I
that
feel
you
like
gotta
my
get up
brain is stretching.
now.
I'll watch the rest of the video. I can't wait, or whenever you put it up.
Yeah.
I'll catch it on Broadway.
Good night.
Catch it on Broadway. Good night. Rest well.
All right. Now we turn it over to Raven with Cookie Run Kingdom.
Before we get to Cookie Run Kingdom, I would just like to read out my resume, because I want to explain how I ended up on Cookie Run, and my journey to get there. So I've been unironically playing Gacha. I tracked it down since 2014, when I myself was 14, and I didn't even have a phone. I was downloading Gacha games on my grandmother's phone and playing that. So my first Gacha game was actually Ayakashi Ghost Guild. I started in 2014, and then EOS a year later. And you're gonna hear me say that a lot.
Oh,
My
damn.
second and third, let's be real, it's a part of the game. My second and third gachas were Brave Frontier and Chain Chronicle. Both have been EOS'd. Chain Chronicle is actually still going in Japan. I just can't play the game anymore because I just don't speak Japanese. It's just really bad for me. Of course, still playing Cookie Run Kingdom. I played Genshin. I played Honkai. Kinda still playing ZZZ. I played the Love Nikki mobile. I played the Love Nikki on PC. I guess Identity V is kind of a gacha. It's more of not, but whatever. And I even played Sid Story. And if you don't know what Sid Story is, type in Sid Story Harriet Tubman, and that is that gacha. And yes, I unironically played that gacha before that character came out. And then under 6, and this is a long list. So under 6 months, I played Azur Lane, Infinite Nikki, the one on the PC, Tower of Fantasy, Wuwa, FGO, Fire Emblem, what was it, Heroes, Grand Blue Fantasy, Bleach, Brave Souls, Dislight. There was a BTS gacha, Girls Frontline,
yeah.
Legends of Runeterra, Unmoji, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Sleep, Princess Reconnect, Sino Alice, Summoner's Wars, and Uma Musume. I've played a lot of gachas, and I ended up
Oh, she
on
got a
Cookie
whole-
Run.
You
Cookie Run is the
have a
best.
whole
I don't know.
PhD in gotcha.
Anyway, look, just to start out, just to let everyone know, how I said that Cookie Run, like the meta is patch by patch, so is the story. So the story originally started with centuries ago. There were 3 witches. Those 3 witches, they gathered a bunch of ingredients. They threw some life powder in moonlight, and they made the first cookie. However, they did not make that cookie to like bring life into the world. They made that cookie to eat it because they thought cookies would taste even more delicious if they were alive. And then they started to eat those alive cookies. And so the cookies were like, oh, hell no. We gotta get the fuck up out of here. And so they got the fuck up out of there. And they did their little dash. The witches basically just left the project, and the leftover flour and eggs, I guess, turned into cake monsters. No, I will not explain that. The escaped cookies united, and they decided to build the first civilization, which is called the first Cookie Kingdom. That first Cookie Kingdom was ruled by 5 ancient cookies. Ancient is a distinct title and will come up again. There are 5 of them: Hollyberry, Pure Vanilla, Golden Cheese, White Lily, and Dark Cacao. And these ancient cookies were said to have a mysterious soul gem inside of them that gave them these distinct and magical powers. People will say there was no definite ruler over the cookie kingdom, but they were subdivided between the 5 of them. So I don't know what you want to say. Anyway, Golden Cheese was calling herself emperor. Dark Cacao was literally a emperor. He had a son who was a prince. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It was definitely some royalty going on. And so they lived peacefully for like a lot of years, and then bad things happened. The witches came back, and well, no, the cake monsters came, and with the cake monsters came Dark Enchantress Cookie, who I always think is a witch, and she's just not a witch, she's just a cookie. And her minions laid siege on the Cookie Kingdom, and the ancient cookies all combined their might together to start the Dark Enchantress Cookie, but their final battle actually led in a stalemate, and the ancient cookies, their soul jam, and Dark Enchantress all perished from the world. They all broke and shattered, and they were gone. They were dead. And then the Cookie Run Kingdom, the Cookie Kingdom was left in total darkness and ruin, and it had no leader, and it was just left like that for a very long time. But then the main character was born, Ginger Brave. Ginger Brave was born in a witch's hut, of course. He escaped, but he was chased by cake monsters, and he ran into a forest, and there, Cookie Brave bravely defeats the monsters, and then he faints in exhaustion, and when he wakes up, he's surrounded by little sugar gnomes, and they drag him, and they say, you need to rebuild the Cookie Kingdom, and that's the beginning of Cookie Run Kingdom. Yeah. And so, you know, you gather your people around, you got your strawberry cookie and your wizard cookie, you all come together, and you hunker down and build up your kingdom again, and and together we will repair the ancient altar, and we'll gather everyone around, and we'll revive the ancient cookies, whatever. Okay, so that was originally the story, but now the story's kind of different with the introduction to beast cookies, another distinction, and now the rarest kind of cookies you can get. All 5 of them have now been released, with Silent Cookie coming out, last month, as the final beast cookie. So, as I said before, the first 5 ancient cookies were made by, I think they say 3 witches, but they were baked by 3 witches, and the witches created them to help create the world. So basically these 3 witches were gods. And so the 5 cookies stood for the 5 pillars that they wanted to build the world on, which was knowledge, volition, happiness, change, and solidarity. And these 5 pillars, virtues, would create a utopia-like paradise on this earth. However, absolute power begets nothing but arrogance. It inevitably corrupted the people around them, and led to a fate the witches could not ever foresee, which is one by one, the 5 that were regarded as the saviors of the cookie world gradually turned to darkness, and thus the 5 virtues did too, and they became the virtues of deceit, apathy, sloth, destruction, and silence. And those were the apostles of evil, or the 5 beasts. And these 5 beasts laid waste to the kingdoms that were built up before, and the only way to settle them was to plant a seed from the silver tree. No, I will not explain what that is, because I don't really know either. And put them to sleep, and it was called the beast yeast. No, I am not kidding. And so the witches gathered together after they put them to sleep, and then cleansed, purified them, and so the soul jam was created for the actual ancient heroes. So, if that was a little confusing, what I was trying to say is, in the original story, they say, in the no, I have to clarify something. So in the original story, they say that the ancient cookies were the first ones to be created, but that's not true. The Beast cookies were the first ones to be created, but their image changed and deformed as time went on, and they became Beast cookies. So like they were pretty much just corrupted as time went on, and the witches couldn't do anything about it to stop the corruption, and they became Beast cookies. And then the witches had to put them asleep, right? And then cleanse their soul gem, and from that created the ancient cookies. But they are separate entities. And now they've been all revived, and now the story is fucked. And so as each Beast cookie became revived, the ancient cookies had to, buckle up, and everyone received I get like an ascended form, which is just another thing. Like I'm not gonna describe the entire story of fucking Cookie Run, because we will be here for a long time. We will be here for a long time. But going back, why do I think why is Cookie Run so successful without having the need for what you would say a typical anime aesthetic? I think it's because not only are the characters diverse with great personality, the story is actually pretty fun to follow. Like just like that, it's a real intricate world, and there's technically 10 kingdoms now, and every 10 kingdoms, all of the 10 kingdoms all have different side stories going on with side characters. Like, of course, there's not just ancient cookies and beast cookies, right? You have legendary cookies, which are legendary. You can call them creatures, you can call them heroes, you can call them villains even. But legendary folklore from different parts of different kingdoms. So you have Sea Fairy Cookie, who's this legendary cookie who fell in love with Moonlight Cookie. So her story is basically, it was the ocean staring up at the sky, and she formed herself because she was so in love with the moon that she wanted to go out and speak to the moon. And so she created herself, floated up, and went to go talk to Moonlight Cookie. Oh, good night.
Have a good night.
Yep, good night.
And that's just, that's just one of the, it's just one of the many side stories that come with exploring through every kingdom, touching every, chapter. There's I think there's 15 main chapters in the first one, because there's 15 worlds, and each world has 30 little chapters in them. So yeah, it's a lot of the story. Ancient, beast, legendary, epic, super epic, rare, common. Everyone has a story, and it's really fun. I don't you could literally open that game and dive in it for hours, and you won't even touch every cookie.
Nope. I'm not gonna eat every cookie either.
So my question to you is, what type of cookie would you like to be?
I don't know, man.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I don't know shit about cookies. Only real ones.
All right. Well, you know
I
what?
wanna. Me?
I was gonna say, Raven, what cookie do you most identify with?
I love Sea Fairy Cookie. She's my little lesbian daughter, who I actually personality-wise get along with. Ooh, I don't know. There's a lot of. I don't know. There's a lot of cookies. There's 140, 30? No, 40 something, 50 something now.
God damn. I mean, it's a
lot of cookies. Yeah, it is older. I love Sea Fairy Cookie though. She's literally my favorite. I like Twizzly Gummy Cookie because she's just a ripoff of Jinx. The most popular cookie right now though is Shadow Milk. He's that blue cookie that looks like a jester. If you haven't you've just definitely seen a picture of him floating around somewhere.
I was gonna say I've
He's
seen
just-
cosplay of him, so I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Like
Is
he
he
is so bombastically popular that he definitely shot up the player base by at least a couple 100,000, like easily. He's super popular and he's in a toxic gay ship. Like you already know what they on. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, Toxic Yaoi, my favorite.
You said the
And he's a
words.
toxic one. And he's a toxic one. You know they love him. You know they do.
I woke up now. I'm awake.
Like
This is why you guys don't drink coffee, so.
I don't drink coffee. I drink life. But if like I don't know, I'll give like my top 5 since there's so many of them. Sea Fairy, Moonlight, Twizzly, Shadow Milk. Probably Crimson Coral. And I feel like that's kind of basic too because I'm naming off mostly like I'm naming off super epic and up characters, but the great thing about Cookie Run is even though there's a meta, if you put your heart and soul into a character and build them up to like their peak, you can still work with that. Like
Okay.
it's kind of like Pokemon in a way. Like if the foundation of it is decent, and yeah, I'm using Pokemon because I'm a Pokemon player. If the foundation of that character is decent, like stat wise and ult wise, it can be used in a way. Because the team I use isn't like it's basically off meta now because Silent Salt got added, so now people are shifting back to the 1 healer, 2 frontline, 2 mid play style, whatever. Yeah, that. but
Oh my god.
you can make anything work if you like that character. I was making Sea Fairy Cookie work for a long time because I just really like that character.
Well, Mariana, you have to
What?
play Cookie Run Kingdom now.
Oh, like I know. I mean, I don't know if I'm interested per se. It sounds really cute.
But yeah, that's why I suggest you should play it. It's very cute. It's very up your alley.
I know, right?
Low key worst time to join because you already missed the huge compensation we got.
Oh, what?
We got a crazy huge compensation. I mean, we got like 20k diamonds. We got
Damn.
3 free soul stones for like ancient cookies and up. Like that shit was crazy. All because they sent out a viable pack that just didn't work. And I was like, thank you.
Oh, wait, Mariana died. We lost her.
Rest in peace.
Well, another reason why I wouldn't suggest that Muna play Cookie Run Kingdom is because I would like to see Muna play another game besides Cookie Run Kingdom. 'cause I'm pretty sure when
Actually,
Muna gets
since
to
we're
that
here,
story,
oh my
we'll never
god.
see Muna again.
What?
Huh?
Was that me? Hello?
I don't know. It's Mariana.
Oh, that is
Okay.
Muna.
Since we're here, the next game we should play actually is this funky little game called Dispatch on stream. You should check it out.
Look at
I'm
that.
not obsessed with that game or anything, and not telling everyone who will listen to me to play it. That's not what it
see.
is. I just think you should play it. It's a funky little game. I love Dispatch.
Oh my god! I kind of want to play this game. It looks really cool. I've seen clips of it,
It's
It is.
really, really good. You should really play it.
and I just love the protagonist. He just looks so fucking tired, and I'm like, that's attractive.
He's a pretty bisexual man. What can I say?
Yes.
He's bisexual because I say so.
All right.
Oh, he should be.
So before I proceed, Muna, how long have we?
Let's take a look. So I think we're at 3 hours. 2 hours 53
Wow.
minutes.
You know what's crazy? 2 hours 53 minutes. Not as long as I thought it was.
Nah.
So
I felt like it was longer, right?
yeah, I felt like well, actually, I felt like it was shorter. I felt like we had been doing it for like an hour. So, I think what we're gonna do for these last 7 minutes, so we make it like a perfect 50, since the other two left, and it sounds like Mariana's fading and fading
Yeah, she
fast.
is.
I'm not fading to play Genshin.
Uh-huh.
I just like
Whatever.
don't have any comments.
Sure.
Okay. Sure.
What?
We both doubt you entirely.
Yeah, like you know. So I guess what we'll do since they're gone is we're gonna transition into some of the closing sections of this discussion. So we for our own reasons we enjoy Gacha, and we'll continue to play those games, and we'll continue to try new games when they come out as long as they interest us. And, you know, we have our issues with Euphorious Winter, and it sucks. But we're still gonna play Honkai Star Rail. You're still gonna play Genshin. I'm probably gonna try to play ZZZ at some point.
Hell yeah.
I guess what we'll discuss now is what. How do I say this? In the future, what type of gacha game do you think you'd be interested in trying? You know, because I know you don't play like a lot of games like that. You're trying to live up to the ones you do play. So like, what type of gacha do you guys think you'd be interested in playing in the future? Because like we do have like games like Neverness to Everness coming out, which from what I've heard is anime GTA. There's Silver Castle, which is like a London-ish, like oldie London style game. There are games like Do It Night Abyss, which has come out relatively recently, which completely did away with gacha and instead just became a action game where you can grind all characters for free without having to spend any money on anything but cosmetics. So it's not even a gacha game anymore. Tower of Fantasy are moving their gacha game, which I mean nobody's gonna play that game.
Oh my god.
Nobody's gonna play that game. So, like, what are you guys looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm sick
That's okay.
of open world games.
I agree.
I'm like, I know Genshin set the trend and everyone's trying to be that Genshin killer. I want to see people use other avenues instead of just like slapping on a different aesthetic on top of the Genshin recipe. It is boring now. It's been 5 years. It still hasn't happened. We need to move on. I don't know what needs to happen. And it's crazy because even like open world games like ZZZ are so successful, and they're not like, it's still like within a setting. Like, why can't we do that? I don't get it. I'm hoping to see something different soon. We'll see.
I'm also tired of open world games. I completely agree with you there, Raven. Mariana, you know?
I love open world games. I just like exploring and more. I can go to woods and get distracted. For anything like I'm looking forward to, I don't keep up with the games unless there's an ad for it. The only thing that they keep giving me on Instagram ads is like, oh, you like hot men? Here's a game full of hot men. And I was like, yeah, okay, you got me there. I'll sign up.
Okay.
I think the one thing I do like a lot about gacha games and stuff like that is the character design itself. And of course the way characters are written, and that's why like I would roll for them, and like save up to get them. But it's character design because there's so much freedom in it, and that's what I always look forward to. And the fashion.
All right. Mona?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Like, what I'm looking forward to. Because the problem is that it doesn't matter what style of game it is. If the story and characters are dog shit, I'm not going to play it. So, I need something that has good writing and is gripping, and, you know, the characters are good, and I'm not gonna get tired of it super quick. Because even like FGO, which I really liked, I got tired of because I kept getting my ass beat. So I don't know, something that
That's reasonable.
isn't gonna like make me frustrated like that. Don't necessarily need open world. It takes too much time to explore, but I do like the idea of having buildings and stuff you could scale. Doesn't necessarily have to be open world though.
Honestly, that sounds like you and the Raven might really try to do it out of this, because that game is not open world. Its world is bigger than a game like ZZ, but it's not open world. It's semi-open. It's big enough to where if you said, I want to explore this world for a little bit, like how Mariana seems to be saying that they like in the open world games. It's big.
Yeah.
It's big enough for you to do that, but like it's not so big that like you like it's it's Genshin. It's not that big. It's like a bigger ZZZ where it's like, you know, there's areas you can explore, and then eventually you're just gonna go right back onto the college you're going, because it's very much a story-driven game. So, but honestly, I'm with Raven. I am tired of open world gacha. I think games like ZZZ and hell, I think games like Honkai Star Rail are more my speed when it comes to like how the worlds are designed, because that like I hear open world, I can't, bro. I can't play Woo because of it. I can't play Genshin because of it. I'm just like, bro, like I just want my story stuff. So, and I can consume the story by watching them play now. So I think that I think that's about it for me. I think for the next episode, what we're gonna do is
Talk about what?
talk about what's today. No, I mean, yeah, we just did an episode based on games. Let's no, we should talk about music next time. I think even with just, because I don't know about your taste in music, Mariana, but I'm pretty sure with me, Luna, and like our taste in music, we can hold like a discussion on that, because Raven's got like a deep fascination with the type of music that they listen to that. Me and Luna, we kind of listen to the same fucking people, and it's when we don't listen to the same thing, interesting dynamics to come. So I think we should run this back next time with us and maybe a few other people if they're interested, and we should talk about music. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that way it'll give me a chance to talk about aliens.
I mean, if you have a rhythm game that you're enjoying, Osu, 'cause I know people play that. You know,
Osu?
that'll
Yeah.
Osu. You don't know what Osu is?
She's too young.
I mean,
That's crazy. The idea of someone being too young for Osu is crazy.
Okay, well, it looks
She's
like
only
we
like
have
5
much-
minutes old, guys.
looks like we have much to teach you, young Padawan. I see. Because
Leave me alone.
actually, I think you're actually older than Raven, Mariana, and you don't know what Osu is.
see, I was never into
I'm
rhythm
25
games.
and I know what Osu is. I'm not into rhythm games either. This is what's still. This is crazy.
It's because she's only 5 minutes old. Guys, she only she stretched herself into the past to join the podcast.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Mariana was f***y all along. Let's hear it. Okay.
I don't.
But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking either music or anime. And if we talk about anime, we're gonna get this. They're never gonna see us again.
You don't want to do you don't want to do anime with the anime goat right here. Come on now.
I haven't watched.
Come on now.
You know what's sad is I haven't watched anime in a long time.
Yeah. I started watching Dungeon Mashers, so I love it.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
I've quite
No,
a few animes I hadn't finished, but I love them.
that is
Oh.
a consideration for a future planned Possum.
Yeah.
We can also talk about like common tropes that annoy us, or like that are done pretty good, or so like that.
Like Sleepy Girls talking to keep the program running.
When we're trying to fucking end.
Leave it alone. Leave
I'm
it
trying
alone.
to tell you to
I'll-
shut up politely because we're trying to do our outro. And you're not getting the hint.
Outro us out now.
Alright, so what is it? So stay tuned for the next time where we will discover something to talk about. But for the first time, but also as always, remember that when your prey is near, play like a deer and be dead. Bye guys.
Bye.
That was good. That was good.